enforcement can brand them as aberrant criminals and arrest them. Well, with acts of terrorism, yeah, and violent acts against people and property, yeah, without considering their motives or addressing their concerns. The police are supposed to change the weather because left-wing lunatics are violently lashing out at the world over the weather. These people are thoroughly insane. And honestly, this Wynn Bruce, who set himself on fire and murdered himself, 50-year-old, you look at a still picture of him, and you say, oh, there's a lefty. He's like a Vladimir Lenin impersonator. He could play Lenin in the off-Broadway play. 50 years old climate activist. That's what they say. And I just got to tell you, you people are getting too damn crazy. Remember normal, please. We have T-shirts and coffee mugs and baseball caps at the Chris Plant store that say "Remember Normal." I was wearing one of my "Remember Normal" shirts last week, as a matter of fact. Pretty amazing stuff. And then, honestly, we had this crazy person. We have audio of the crazy person shooting, right? Is it one or two? Two sound bites. This is again, this guy with the Nation of Islam artwork on his wall in Washington, D.C.
Test. Test 1, 2, test. 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 Referee test. Test 1, 2, test. Test. Test 1, 2.
VII-Salina in the case. All you kids 12 and under, we want to get you down to the concourse. All kids 12 and under, we're going to get you on the field so you can meet the Liberty as they come out on the field. 12 and under kids, come on down to the concourse. Let's get ready.
Back all the way? Yep.
I don't ever use that to hold it.
I'm leaving you unmuted, so.
You ever get tired of having balls thrown at your head? You ever get tired of having balls thrown at your head? There it is. Putting him on. Oh, never mind. He missed it. I thought he caught it. We can start our part on time anyway. Yep. And then he'll play music in between. So.
You want to do this and then I'll jump right on that.
Yeah, and Jade and Sam are not going to come out. They're coming. So I'll introduce them inside the truck.
So you didn't bring, okay, so
Yeah.
we don't like to play with that.
Ready whenever.
Get all the kids out here.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for Liberty football? Oh man, I see the noisemakers. I see lots and lots of Liberty fans and a few Omaha fans, so thank you guys for coming out tonight. We want to thank all of you for being great sportsmen here tonight because it is going to be an amazing game. Why? Because tonight is a Champions Indoor Football Championship. Tonight, folks, winner will take all. So, being the ninth player on the field, I expect every one of you to keep it loud and proud all night long. Real quick, there you go. Real quick, though, those of you that are here now, it's going to get louder before we go, but I feel like the main sound makers are right here in the house. So, real quick, on the count of 3, I want to hear it get all the way to the roof. 3, 2, 1, let me hear it! That! Yes! I dyed my hair blue for this, so the least you can do is keep it like that all night long. All right, the Omaha Beef and your Salina Liberty. One of them will be crowned the Champions Indoor Football League National Champion. Once again, I am Chris, the voice, the man of action down here on the field. To my right, representing the 34th District, give it up for my man, Mr. Cash Alistair. We missed him last week. We are glad to have him back. He will keep us hyped all night long. And of course, the Lady Liberty herself. She's going to be coming around, Miss Jade Perez. She's going to keep you guys in the games all night, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for the Lady Liberties when they come out. We have got ourselves a special halftime performance for you tonight, the greatest show on indoor turf. And I can't wait until halftime. You're going to see a little preview over here. Tonight's after-game party will be held at the Blind Pig, the official after-game host of the Salina Liberty. So come mingle with the players and coaches at the Blind Pig, 2501 Marketplace right here in Salina. Now tonight, somebody is going to go home champion and somebody is going to go home sad. And you might be that discerning factor right here, the ninth player on the field. So one more time, I want you to give me some noise for your Salina Liberty! Ladies and gentlemen, for the past 2 seasons, Darren Lee of Long MacArthur Ford here in Salina has sponsored this vehicle right over here for our general manager, Francis Flax. So thank you to Darren Lee, Salina's car guy. Driving inside, though, you're going to see our head Lady Liberty, Jade Perez herself, and the greatest mascot in town. Give it up for Sideline Sam! You know Sideline Sam's going to be up in the crowd all night, so take your pictures with him. Maybe he can get you down on the field if you want to play. You find one of our Lady Liberties and one of the Liberty Helpers, they're going to get you on the field. We'd like to see you take on one of your friends in one of our games. It might just be pretty interesting. Here we go. Now we got the kids, ages 2 to 14, coming on out. Give it up for them, folks. They got the best seats in the house. Oh. And you know, I do got to give props out to the fans because they've helped us to achieve this. The Salina Liberty received the CIF Game Day Production Award. So we have the best game day production, and that is due to a lot of the people here and all you fans. So give yourselves a round of applause. And all the staff and crew that help put this show together for you every week. We try to top ourselves every week. This week, it is going to be hard to top what you guys are getting. Show inside of a show, inside of a show. What? Yeah, whole operation, man, as far as I'm concerned.
Congratulations. You guys deserve it. Yeah, now we won the award.
Now we have expectations.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please direct your attention to the south end of the arena for the presentation of the... You thought I was going to say something else. Of your Salina Liberty! Tonight's player introductions are brought to you tonight and every game night by the Best Western Plus Motel right here in Salina, your official home of the Salina Liberty. And now, let's meet your Liberty players! What was I doing? Look, I knew I was doing wrong. But...
Now our feature presentation. Liberty.
A wide receiver, sponsored by Wilson and Company. We call him K-Wash, number 1, Demarius Washington. At running back, sponsored by the library, also known as MVP number 2, Tracy Brooks.
Open the volume, I think, so it covers up. The wrong volume.
From Fort Hays State at wide receiver, sponsored by the Alley. We call him Fast Ed, number 3, Ed Smith. A defensive back from Victor Valley, sponsored by American Electric, known to Salina Liberty as the Predator. Number 4, D. Trey Matthews. At defensive back from Bethany College, sponsored by Burger Theory, we call him the Ball Hawk. Number 5, Dwayne Autry. Sponsored by Lindsberg Laundry from Southeastern University. At defensive back, number 6, Tyrell Green. At running back, from Hutchinson Community College, sponsored by Walmsley Trucking, number 7, Trey Griffin. A defensive lineman from Murray State, sponsored by Air Gas, number 8, Travis Taylor. At number 11, our QB1 from Tabor College, sponsored from Comfort Inn, number 11, Curry Parham. And starting tonight at quarterback from Midwestern State, sponsored by Solutions for Life, get on your feet for number 12, Javin Kilgo. From the University of Toledo, a defensive lineman sponsored by Eye Care Associates, number 15, Keenan Gibbs. A wide receiver from Oklahoma State University, sponsored by Auntie Rita's, number 19, Anthony Love. A defensive back from Central Michigan, sponsored by Valmont Industries, number 21, Evan Ray. At linebacker from Troy University, sponsored by Accurate Electric, number 22, Tron Folsom. From the University of Kansas, sponsored by Weedle Financial, Robert B. Justice, number 24, we call him K-Hop, Kendrick Harper. Wearing number 28 at running back, sponsored by Taco John's from Kennesaw State, Tristan Gould. From Wesley College, a defensive back sponsored by Salina Embroidery Works, number 33, Corey Williams. A defensive lineman from Belhaven University, sponsored by TNT Auto, number 54, Isaiah Blackman. And your kicker, number 55, from Grand Rapids Community College, sponsored by One Vision Aviation. That's right, Jimmy Allen. an offensive lineman from Chowan University and sponsored by the Blind Pig, number 70, Calvin McCoy. An offensive lineman from Prairie View A&M, sponsored by Lindsberg Laundry, number 72, Aeneas Ruiz. Wearing 79, an offensive lineman from Adams State, and sponsored by Wilson and Company, Aliki Tapa. On the offensive line from Lane College and sponsored by M&H Motors, number 92, Ironman Stephen Fluker. Wearing number 93, an offensive lineman sponsored by Gambino's Pizza, Rufus Quinn. And from Kansas Wesleyan University, sponsored by Kansas Wesleyan University, a defensive lineman, two-time All-American, number 94, Shaq Bradford. Your assistant coaches tonight, Jorge Martinez with his sister from Colorado, Carrie, Carlos Kavanaugh, and Dylan Mendocina. And sponsored by Anesthesia and Associates, the head coach, your Hall of Fame head coach of Salina Liberty, with his beautiful wife Nisha, his daughter Mia, Coach Haran O'Neal.
Ladies and gentlemen, that being said, let's hear it one more time for your Salina Liberty! And a big shout out to the Zirkus Productions with the fire show. You're going to see them later at the halftime show.
Are they ready with the colors?
Well, it's probably I got it is.
Share a light or something, should we? Which one do you think?
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise out of your seats. Direct your attention to the south end of the arena for the presentation of the colors for tonight's game. Tonight's colors are presented by the VFW 1492.
Come on, fellas, move. I think they've been at the VFW most of the afternoon getting ready for it. Bow your head for prayer, please. Our Heavenly Father, gather here tonight on this beautiful evening, anticipating this great game of football that's about to be played. We give you thanks for all the benefits that you have bestowed upon us, Lord, for these coaches, these players, all the fans, and everybody associated with this arena and everybody that's in here tonight. Please watch over them and guide them. Keep everyone safe, including our referees, and we pray that no man on either team is seriously injured. We ask these things through your name. Amen.
And now singing our national anthem, ladies and gentlemen, Randy Baldwin and the Randy Baldwin Trio.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Stand by. Gentlemen. Test.
We defer.
Test. Gentlemen, first of all, congratulations on making this championship game. It's a great honor. We're very honored to be here as your refereeing crew, and we're going to work very hard for you guys.
Contingent of Marines that are still here. They were been here the last few weeks for some special training. Talked to a number of guys from New Jersey. They were excited to be here. They were here last week, went back, told all of their partners. They said, hey, you guys missed out. So when they had the opportunity, it was a no-brainer. They are here, and they will be loud. It's going to be a lot of fun. Both teams seem pretty excited. I will say this, Salina is excited but focused. So I'm looking forward to what's in store tonight.
And so far, the biggest play of the night has been the coin toss, and that is won by the Omaha Beef. They will defer to the second half, so it will be the Salina Liberty on the field first. And when we talk about the Liberty, there is a big adjustment here just before kickoff. Something that was kind of in the works all week long. They didn't know, though, what was going to happen, whether he was going to go ahead and play, whether he wasn't. And that is the MVP from the 2021 season, just 1 year ago, Tracy Brooks. It appears that he re-injured his arm that he broke earlier in the season in the first game against Omaha, and he is out tonight. Tracy has been on a tear since returning from injury, and that is a loss for this Liberty offense, who will have to come out onto the field and readdress how this offense is going to go, now without Tracy Brooks. But as Ron O'Neill told me off the air, Russ, he said this is something we've been doing all year with Trey Griffin and Tristan Gould. We are ready to play this way, and it should not affect us that much. But also, you're removing an MVP from the league out of your lineup.
Yeah, and you bring in a guy like Tristan Gould, who did not play up in Omaha when these last two teams met up there. So you're going to get your first look at Javin Kilgo here in the Salina Liberty offense. Kilgo, 50 of 77, 65% completions, 13 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions on the year.
Omaha's Jeremy Reynolds, one of the best in the league, ready to kick it off. He is going to work as we view it from high atop Tony's Pizza. Vincent, left to right. Dwayne Autry catches a bullet 5 yards deep in the end zone. To the 5, 10, 15, and out to the 17-yard line. And now, Russ, we will see this Salina Liberty offense.
Yeah, like I said, Kilgo coming in, really hasn't been here the whole year. Came in here about half, maybe 3/4 of the way through, and like I said, 13 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions, 640 yards passing. You're going to see a dual threat at running back with Trey Griffin and Tristan Gould as well.
So the offensive line comes out, anchored by Kelvin McCoy, who we've seen play all 3 offensive line spots so far this year. He has been a longtime center for head coach Ron O'Neill. He moved over to right tackle at halftime of the Sioux City game. Then, last week, we saw him against Billings move over to the left-hand side. So he's played all 3 positions along that offensive line for the Salina Liberty. This Liberty Beef matchup, it's pretty interesting, really, when you get into the numbers. It has been, so far, teetered in the direction of Salina since Coach Ron O'Neill has been here. In Salina, Coach Ron O'Neill is 6-4 against the Beef, but Omaha has won 3 of the last 4. So that's an interesting take to have on this matchup as well. Beef come out there wearing their all whites, orange numerals, black helmet, Beef logo on the side. Salina Liberty, of course, in their very recognizable patriotic red, white, and blues. Empty backfield here for Javin Kilgo. Wants to go to the right. Sitting down in the seam is Fast Ed Smith. He's going to spin out of the tackle and go to the midfield stripe just short of the 25. He will have 8.5 yards on first down, and that'll bring up second down and short.
Yeah, and Fast Ed maybe not having the career number receptions, yards, touchdowns that he had last year, but just a guy that Coach has talked about week in and week out that will make any of the plays that need to be made, whether it goes to him or he's got a block.
Second down and short now for the Liberty. Here's a pass to the end zone. Wanted it all to Demarius Washington. That ball goes over the top of the wall just at the Omaha bench. When you look at the setup here at Tony's Pizza Event Center, the Omaha bench and the Salina Liberty bench are on the ends behind the end zones, and they are basically staring across the field at each other just a little bit.
And maybe a shot right there that D-Wash didn't want to take that early of going up and over on the second play of the game and kind of risk. We saw him get a little banged up last week as well, and maybe taking a little bit off knowing it is 3rd and short now.
3rd down, about 2 yards here for Salina. They still go with an empty backfield. Kilgo back to pass, in a little route there to the 15-yard line. D-Wash goes up, catches the ball with 2 hands, and then takes it down just inside of the 15 to the 14-yard line. That's a conversion into Omaha territory, and Salina now replacing the football at the 13-yard line. Salina now into Omaha territory here on their opening drive of the game.
And the 3 wide receivers you got out on the field, you got Anthony Love with 5 touchdowns this year, Demarius Washington with 11, and Fast Ed with 6.
Demarius Washington, 11 touchdowns in what, 5 6 games? Yeah, unbelievable. 1st down and 10 now. There is a running back. It's Trey Griffin, left hip. They'll pass it out to the right, and the officials will blow this play dead before it starts, and it's procedure against the Liberty. This is a hybrid crew. It is part officiating crew of folks that have worked in Salina and Dodge City all year. The lead official, the white hat, is the lead official that usually works in Sioux City. As I understand, Brian, and you'll be able to elaborate after this play more on the officiating crew, this was a hand-picked crew by the league to come in and work this game here tonight. We'll check in with you after this 1st down, and now what is 15 after that procedure penalty against the Salina Liberty offense.
It looks like they're going to split Trey Griffin maybe out here to the left side.
4 wide receivers again, no running backs. They're going to flank it out to Anthony Love. He gets 1st down yardage back, penalty yardage back and more, then tries to leap over a defender, and he will pay for that as he is pushed over the wall into the VIP party pit area. Brian, how about the officials?
Yeah, the normal white hat had previous commitments. Actually, he enjoyed a Yankee no-hitter today back in New York City. But they brought the white hat down from Sioux City. And this is a guy that has worked numerous NAIA national championships. He's been on a number of NCAA Division I crews, so a lot of experience. The league has done this championship game right. They have probably one of the most experienced crews available for them here on the field.
2nd down and 7 from the 10-yard line. First handoff of the game goes to the former Hutch Community College Blue Dragon, Trey Griffin. He'll zigzag his way with a slide step right inside traffic at about the 8, all the way down to the 5-yard line. The Liberty now knocking on the door of the red zone here at the 5, and it's 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, Trey was stacked up right there. Like, just planted that right foot as soon as he was far enough lateral. Planted that right foot, saw a hole that maybe one of these other running backs from Salina could not get through as he is a smaller guy, but a great job right there to bring up a manageable 3rd down.
Short yardage situation here, knocking on the door of the end zone. Griffith again takes it off to the right-hand side, has 1st down yardage, and then gets hit late into the wall. He will move the chains, though, and now a 1st and goal situation for the Liberty offense.
Devin, let's go back to last week a little bit. Coming out in the second half, you and I talked about it. This Liberty offense didn't have really a sustained drive. If they're going to score, they had 30, 35-yard touchdown passes. Chewing up 5 minutes now already on the first drive of the game to bring up 1st down and goal inside the red zone.
Remember, they pretty much put Billings away last week with their opening drive of the 3rd quarter, about 13 plays. Here's Griffin again for the 3rd time in a row. He is going to score, and Trey Griffin is pumped. He was inactive for a game late in the season, and as Coach Ron O'Neill told me, that was a little bit of a wake-up call for the rookie, and he is back now, and he is excited to be in the end zone for the first time tonight in this game, and it's a Liberty touchdown from 2 yards out.
Yeah, and a great job there by that Salina offensive line and all the big guys, Kelvin McCoy, Fluker, Tapa up front, just leading the way for this Salina running backs, and just a phenomenal job, Brian, on that drive by this offensive line.
They did a great job establishing. It was fun to watch because you get some pass and you throw in the run. Now we've got a situation where short a player on this extra point attempt.
We don't have a holder because Tracy Brooks isn't playing.
Exactly right. So we're going to see. And here comes who's running back. Yes, Javin Kilgo's going to come back. So we'll see if they can quick get it down. 4 seconds, 3 on the play clock.
They get the play off, and it's blocked. Omaha blocks it, and they might have a chance to return this one for 2. Liberty scrambling back. Tron Folsom's going to save the day, but the ball is still loose. Omaha's going to scoop it, go up against the wall. They cannot keep the ball inbounds in the field of play. So Liberty trying to hurry up and get that kick away, and Heron O'Neill comes out, and he is livid at his special teams unit, who just left points on the board. But coming around, seeing how that played out, Russ Kossel, they saved points, and we have a media timeout. We'll talk about it more when we come back. It's our first media timeout of the game. The Liberty with a 6-0 lead after the opening drive of the game here on KINA.
Air conditioner breakdowns never happen at a good time. With same-day service, Comfort Heating and Air will get your AC up and running. We always offer free replacement quotes. Right now, we even have 0% financing options. If you're strapped for cash with less than perfect credit, no worries. Just ask about our Easy Pay in-house payment programs. Keeping your family cool and comfortable this summer, call the company that cares. Comfort Heating and Air, with locations in Salina and Clay Center.
You can rely on the company that cares. We're Comfort Heating and Air.
Don't go another day with roof problems. Ryan Roofing will provide you with the world's best roof, the Durolast roofing system, custom prefabricated to fit your specific building. Your Durolast roof will be leak-free with virtually no maintenance. It's resistant to fire, high winds, chemicals, and temperature extremes. Plus, there are potential energy savings versus traditional roofing. Ryan Roofing has installed over 10 million square feet of Durolast roofing. Trust Ryan Roofing to solve your commercial roofing needs. Call for a quote today, 825-0475.
PRP, or platelet-rich plasma injection therapy, has received quite a bit of attention since its use by many professional athletes. Professional football players like Peyton Manning and Jamal Charles have used PRP therapy for sports injuries and to avoid surgery. But you don't have to be a world-class athlete with millions of dollars for this cutting-edge therapy. PRP is available to you in the Salina Pain Clinic. Call the doctors for a consultation and see if this treatment is right for you. See them at 200 South 5th in the Salina Surgical Arts Center.
You're listening to Liberty Football on KINA.
Welcome back to Tony's Pizza Event Center. Liberty take the opening drive. They are on the board. Their extra point was blocked. And Brian Berner, we go back to the fact that Tracy Brooks, since returning from injury, has been the holder. He's been the longtime holder for kicker Jimmy Allen. Tracy out of this game, and it looked like the Liberty not prepared to have a holder on the field.
Yeah, it kind of caught them off guard. Kilgo, who ended up being the holder after that touchdown, came back towards the bench area. The communication was slow, but I'll give Omaha a lot of credit. They appeared to have good penetration once the snap was there to get in to block the ball. The concern that I had at first, after that block was there, was Omaha had a direct track to the ball, and Salina really did not do a good job at the time to try to get back defensively. Fortunately for them, the ball went and hit at about the 5-yard line, the wall that made it dead at that point in time. So now we'll see. Will that missed point, how will it come into play as we progress through this game?
Well, and give all the credit in the world, too, for the disruption of that return for Omaha by Tron Folsom. Saw him come out of there sprinting, acting like a blur, and now another special teams miscue as Jimmy Allen kicks the ball over the wall on the left-hand side. And Omaha's going to have a short field here as they start out at the midfield stripe at the 25-yard line.
And out comes quarterback Andrew Jackson, who leads the league in a bunch of categories in the CIF this year. Completions at 201, attempts at 321, yards 1,947. Second in the league in passing touchdowns at 32, third in the league in pass efficiency. But the last time that Andrew Jackson stepped on the field against Omaha, went 10 for 18 for 69 yards and did not throw a touchdown.
This is a former Liberty quarterback. He took the Liberty to the championship in 2019 where they lost on the last drive of the game in Albuquerque against Duke City. He's going to roll out, finds a receiver inside the 5-yard line. It is caught, and it will be first down and goal for Omaha after a single play. Former Liberty receiver Tyler Jones with the catch.
Yeah, and a great fake there by Andrew Jackson to sell out. Travis Taylor kind of lost out of his way there, so Omaha looks to go quick.
Hurry up has been kind of their calling card against the Liberty this year, and in 2 plays, they are in the end zone with a touchdown run. That did not take long. Norman Darden gets it into the end zone on a sweep left-hand side, and now the extra point is pending as a 2-play drive equalizes this game at 6.
And then you got one of the best, if not the best, to play in the CIF, Jeremy Reynolds, coming on for the extra point. A quick two-play, hard-hitting drive right there by Omaha.
Jeremy Reynolds on. Extra point, up and through the uprights. And that is good. 7-6 is our score. Omaha takes a 1-point lead in a lightning-fast drive down the field here for the Beef.
Yeah, and I think if you're this Salina defense, you're going to have to, I don't know, that was probably the fast, hard-hitting drive that Salina had seen. We did not see Billings last week do that. We also saw in the Omaha-Sioux City matchup where there was more points put up by each team than a combined score of the Billings-Salina game last week.
Yeah, we're sitting here, near the end of the third quarter, I remember, and we're a 20-0 game. Salina leading Billings, and I look over at the video feed from Sioux City, and they were still midway through the second quarter and already over 60 points combined. And they did slow down quite a bit in the second half where defense kind of took over. And that's the thing about this game. The more points are scored, it seems like, it has a tendency, believe it or not, to favor Salina. When it's a blowout, Salina is usually on the offensive end. They win by a margin of 14.5 points a game. When Omaha wins, they're only winning by a margin of about 3.2 points a game. So the lower scoring, kind of dicey games like the one we had in Omaha last month where it's 14-11, they seem to come out of those a lot better off than what Salina does. If it's high scoring, it seems to favor the Liberty. Here is Dwayne Autry on the kick return, trying to sweep his way to the right-hand side. Now in a scrum, he's going to be dropped down just outside of the 10-yard line at about the 11. So the Liberty offense will have their second chance. So far, 1 for 1. Each team has a touchdown, and the difference is Omaha's extra point from Jeremy Reynolds.
And I think the difference so far has been Jeremy Reynolds in together. You go back to Jimmy Allen's kickoff after the touchdown that went over the wall that set him up at midfield. So now this Salina offense about 4 yards farther back than where they started their last drive. Just halfway through the first quarter right now, both teams scoring a touchdown.
First down and 10 for Salina. They're at their own 11-yard line. Stephen Fluker reaches down, grabs the football. He'll snap it back here to Kilgo. Javin will play it out to Anthony Love. He's dancing with a defender at the 14-yard line, and he will be dropped down there after a 3-yard gain. Second down and 7 coming up for the Liberty. And again, Russ, we see D. Washington running a deep route towards the end zone.
Yeah, and it's almost like if you're Salina, they're trying to set something up to go deep. We saw him take that one deep shot early on the second play of the game to Demarius Washington, and then a couple quick strikes out to Ed Smith, and then a bunch of runs by Trey Griffin.
Second down and 7 for the Liberty. Fluker will snap the ball back. Kilgo out on the screen. This time it's A-Love again to the right-hand side. Anthony Love will take it. He's right at the first down sticks, and the official says, yes, he went out of bounds against the wall after the stick, and they will move the chains here, and it'll be a Liberty first down.
Let's go back and look at these last few plays where Javin Kilgo just ran a quick out route, one to Ed Smith, now one to Anthony Love on the far sideline, and A-Love had one on the last drive where he tried to hurdle somebody. There is no defender within 10 or 15 yards of him. Take what the defense will give you. Get 7 or 8 yards before the defense gets there, and you're going to get a first down about every 2 plays.
First down and 10 now for the Liberty at their own 21. They trail it by 1. Kilgo again, 5-yard out, plays it to Ed Smith. Actually, that's Trey Griffin, and Griffin's going to take it up the barrier inside of the 15-yard line to the 14. He jumps up and signals first down, and you're right, there is nobody there in that soft cushion.
Yeah, there's like everybody has dropped back, and it's like 1-2. If you're Kilgo, you're going through your reads fast, and just on that one, Trey Smith was at the first down. Trey Griffin, was at the first down marker before contact was even made.
First down for the Liberty at the Omaha 14-yard line. 4:53 left to go here in the opening quarter of Champions Bowl 7. Here's the snap back to Kilgo. He had to double clutch on this one and had a defender right in the alley. I don't know how Chris Perry did not intercept that football. I don't want to say that's why he plays defense because I get sick of hearing that. These guys are all very, very good. But I think it did surprise him a little bit that Kilgo still threw that football.
Yeah, he checked it down fast, and as soon as Perry was able to get his hands out, it's like the ball was right there. So no gain there on first down. Really, probably the first time on these drives besides when the penalty. And then they were able to get 7 yards. So now they're second and deep here late in the Omaha side.
2nd down and 10. They're going to load up again, 2-by-2. The slot receiver's in motion. Free play, and they're going to have to blow this one dead because too much of a head start that time by Jared Harris from the defensive line. He was on the right-hand side there for the Omaha Beef, and they're going to whistle that dead and give the Liberty a free 5 yards.
And I think usually if it's offsides on the defense, they'll let the offense have a free play, but Harris was really unabated to the quarterback right there and probably would have took a shot for Kilgo if that play wasn't blown dead.
So that'll now make it 2nd down and 10 after that incomplete pass on first down. And now the penalty will give the Liberty a little bit of advantage. 3 receivers on the left-hand side. They go to Trey Griffin. He's going to run it to the right, and he's going to lose about a foot there as he tried to get back to the line of scrimmage. He was corralled just inside of the 10-yard line.
Yeah, really just nowhere to go. A great job by that Beef defensive line to really win the line of scrimmage right there and kind of go lateral with them, and was unable for Trey Griffin to get the first down.
Big 3rd down here. It's 3rd down and 6 for Salina. There's the handoff to Griffin. They're going to keep it on the ground, and he's not going to go anywhere. The Omaha run defense is really pretty good. We saw them give up a rushing touchdown from short yardage on the first drive of the game, but that one just goes nowhere on 2 consecutive running plays for the Salina Liberty. Now they are facing 4th and 6 after no gain on 3rd down.
Yeah, Omaha on the year only giving up 74.4 rush yards per game.
They will bring on the field goal crew. Javin Kilgo already in the hold position here as he is waiting on Jimmy Allen to come out on the field. 17-yard line will be the placement down, 8-yard end zone here at T-Peck. A 25-yard attempt, and it's nearly blocked again, and Jimmy Allen has to hesitate and then yanks it to the left. Chris Perry came flying in there for the Omaha Beef, and so far the blocking just not very good up front for the Salina Liberty, and that will bring us to our second media timeout. 2:27 left to go here in the first quarter. It remains Omaha 7, Liberty 6 here on KINA.
When pests have become too much, it's time to call Hassman Termite and Pest Control. With staff having over 150 years of combined experience, we offer all services for structural pests: termites, ants, roaches, spiders, crickets, mice, and bed bugs. In our 60th year of our family serving yours, give us a call or visit us on the web at hassmantermite.com or see us on Facebook.
Summer is here and we have your beer at Salina Wholesale Liquor. The best variety of ready-to-drink cocktails, seltzers, and everyday beer specials. We always have great deals on case orders and 15% off for Wine Wednesday and 5% discounts for Craft Beer Thursday. Grab your favorites or try something new, and don't forget the ice. Save big now at all 3 locations in Salina: at Sam's Club, off 9th Street behind Cadova, and on the corner of Iron and Ohio. We have better prices, we're cool and quicker. Salina Wholesale Liquor.
K4 Trailer, RV and truck accessories in Salina has been selling every type of trailer and customizing the baddest trucks in central Kansas for 24 years. Now, K4 is your local dealer for the fastest growing equipment trailer company known as Iron Bull. Plus, Sundowner's newest line of toy haulers, Blazer. K4 is one of the largest stocking trailer dealers in Kansas. K4 also services what they sell and will help you hitch and go. K4 Trailer, RV and truck accessories on West State Street in Salina and K4TrailerSales.com.
The Liberty plays here. Salina's sports station is KINA.
Welcome back to Tony's Pizza Event Center. This Champions Bowl 7 broadcast brought to you by Salina Medical Aesthetics in downtown Salina. See them on Facebook and Instagram for all of the services and products that they offer. 7-6, Omaha Beef leading by 1. An extra point from Jeremy Reynolds in a really, really poor kicking game and special teams effort so far for the Salina Liberty.
Yeah, now you put the defense back on the field, which is a place where many times that we think, yeah, this is what we want. Well, you had 2 plays on the last one, so
Here's Jackson back to pass, bouncing around in his own end zone. Wants a receiver over the middle of the field, and the intended receiver, Norman Darden, falls down, straddling the midfield stripe.
Yeah, and interesting right there by this Salina defensive line. Travis Taylor kind of dropped off and hesitated before he came in. And I think if you're Salina, you got to try to get pressure on Andrew Jackson. Not a very well scrambling quarterback, stays in the pocket and looks to get it down the field.
His pocket presence is excellent, though.
Yes.
I mean, he knows where to slide, where to step, and things like that. He is hard to bring down. Jackson now after the incomplete pass, a 2nd down and 10, wants to flank it off to the right-hand side, and that one's going to be disrupted by Shaq Barrett. They were looking out to the right-hand side to Alexander Noble, and that ball disrupted as Barrett was coming in on his rush. Bradford, he's coming in on his rush, and he nearly got a finger on it and might have deflected it.
Yeah, and Shaq does a great job out there at defensive end, undersized, probably the smallest defensive end in this league, but does a phenomenal job at the first 2 steps off the snap.
Salina Liberty defense asking for the assistance of this crowd here at Tony's Pizza Event Center. Omaha loads up. They go 3 wide receivers on the right-hand side. 2 slot receivers in motion on that side. They're going to complete it right at the First Bank Kansas sticks at the 15-yard line. They needed 10. They got 10 1/4, and they will move the chains and keep this drive going as we enter the last minute of the first quarter.
And that just goes to the pocket presence you just talked about that Andrew Jackson has. That play took a while to develop, but had no pressure and could stand in there and go through his reads. And a great job there by Andrew Jackson to complete it for first down.
1st down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Jackson, again, empty backfield. 3 wide receivers on the right-hand side. Darden in the slot, catches it at the 20, and then he is taken down at the 21. Tyrell Green comes over and gives the assist on the tackle to Dwayne Autry. And look at Omaha. They have a little mini huddle here right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to want to crank it up and go again.
Yeah, it looks like they want to go quick, get the play out quick. Head coach Jones trying to get them going. You know, now we're under 20 seconds to go before the end of the first quarter.
It's a guy walking up here with a Hakuna Matata shirt on, Brian. It's kind of your motto, right? Here's Jackson now scrambling around. He's going to dump it off to Noble at the last minute as he goes crashing down to the turf. Noble makes the catch across the 25-yard line and gets the first down, moving it into Liberty territory. Omaha will have the football now with a new set of downs at the 22. That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Salina Liberty football in Champions Bowl 7, brought to you by the Salina Pain Clinic in downtown Salina. We end the first quarter with Omaha having the football, leading by 1. 7-6 is our score. Beef over Liberty here on KINA.
Kids and grandkids, vacation activities, simply traveling on a plane or in a vehicle. These are just a few of the things that pain can affect and keep you from doing, and constant pain is, well, it's a pain. If you or someone you love suffers from back pain or severe joint pain, visit the Salina Pain Clinic. Their physicians can evaluate your pain to determine the best non-narcotic plan to help manage your pain. Speak to your doctor about a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic inside Surgical Arts Center, downtown Salina, or salinapainclinic.org.
Oh my, what a fresh smell, and this entire place is so clean.
You would never guess our friend here is talking about a porta potty. Not just any porta potty. This is a portable bathroom from Salina Septic Service. Salina Septic Service is changing the game with higher standards of cleanliness and service. Porta potties don't have to be gross, so don't accept any less when you can have the best from Salina Septic Service. Now serving Hutch, McPherson, and the Gray Bend areas.
You're listening to Salina Liberty Football on KINA Sports.
Back ready for action as we begin second quarter. 7-6 Beef. They have a first down in Salina territory at the 22-yard line. Andrew Jackson looks over his formation. Now he's going to move Rashad Pargo to the right-hand side. He will go in motion with the existing receiver in the slot. Jackson back to pass. He wants to scramble out. Hit as he throws in a near interception by Tron Folsom. He wanted to go to Alexander Noble over the middle of the field, and Jackson got blasted as he threw that football. 2 offensive linemen in the area. That did not help him, though, as Keenan Gibbs was bearing down, and now we have 2 almost interceptions, 1 by each defense.
And that brings up a good point. The turnover margin for each of these teams, Salina at plus 10 turnover margin on the year. Omaha at -1. So this game could come down to who can get that one turnover.
2nd down and 10, Omaha. Jackson again will empty the backfield. His 2 slot guys in question of where they will end up. Darden comes in from the left-hand slot. He wants to take the handoff and run it, and he will plunge ahead for a gain of about 4, and that will bring up a 3rd down and 6. Had a 1st down stick get destroyed last week against the Billings Outlaws. It lasted about 2 plays in this game, and once again, it is naked. No skirt, just a stick.
Yeah, and this, we saw Andrew Jackson in this Omaha offense complete a 3rd and 10 earlier while he hung out in the pocket. And once again, Salina only sent 2 rushers on that play.
Jack Bradford, Keenan Gibbs, Travis Taylor all up front here for the Liberty. Omaha will load up on the left-hand side. Delayed handoff. Darden now looking for space. He is going all over the field. Starts out right, comes back left, and he is going to go just short of the 1st down sticks by about a yard, maybe even not.
No, he lost a yard on that play.
Sorry, yes, I was looking at the wrong stick because we're missing some clothing on that one. Yeah. Boy, Darden was out there. It looked like he was on ice. He was doing his best job trying to look for daylight. He could find none. And now it is 4th down and 8 for Omaha. It looks like they're going to leave Jeremy Reynolds on the sideline here. You question this a little bit, at least I do. Reynolds is so good. They're going to spread it out, go 4 wide receivers. The Slav guys are in motion. Jackson back to pass. Clean pocket so far. A little twitch of his shoulders. Jack Bradford trying to get to him. Now he gets loose, but Bradford falls down. Jackson still has it and then unloads it right against the wall, and they're going to say that is a catch. Brian, take that because I can't see it.
I was not able to see. I was blocked by the players. You've got 2 officials saying it was a catch, another saying it wasn't. Coach O'Neill saying it hit the ground. We may have a challenge or an official review. We'll see. White Hat's going to make the call.
It's big because if it's not a complete pass, it's a turnover on downs.
Is a completed pass. The referees will be looking at it.
They said the ruling on the field was a completed
pass, but we're going to have a referee challenge. So neither team is questioning. The referees themselves are the ones that say, hey, we're going to go take a look at this. So we'll see how it plays out.
All right, we will step away. We'll take a break. 60-second timeout. Back with the results of the review after this on KINA.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
Now is the time to celebrate summer and look fantastic with Salina Medical Aesthetics. Summer is fun. We all love to take in the sunshine, and we also need to take care of our skin. Right now at Salina Medical Aesthetics, all skincare products are 20% off. For fine lines, dull appearance, and rough, dry texture, brighten your skin tone with a 20-minute express peel and complimentary brightening mask. For year-round skincare, follow SME on social media and visit their website at salinamedaesthetics.org.
You're listening to Liberty Football on KINA.
Back here at Tony's Pizza Event Center, I want to welcome you in. Thank you for listening and watching. Along the Champions Indoor Football Network, 7-6, Omaha Beef leading the Salina Liberty as we are under a review for a pass on 4th down and about 8. It went up against the near side wall where we are viewing high atop Tony's Pizza Event Center, looking down into the pit, basically, where these players are doing battle. And Russ, this is one of those deals you can't really see what happened, and you just hope and pray that you have a camera angle that will do this replay justice. I think it's interesting, though, we still have the Omaha offense on the field, we still have the Salina Liberty defense on the field, but waiting in the on-deck circle is the Salina offense ready to come onto the field here, just saying that it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. Both the defense for Salina and the offense for Omaha still out on the field, so both, you're not really sure what's going to happen here. But, yeah, you look over and peek over to our right, and the offense of Salina is right there ready to go, and the gate is open on the Omaha bench. So this really probably could go either way. Like you said, no way for us to see it in our perspective.
I want to remind you to stick with us at halftime. The audio we will feed to you along KINA and also in the Champions Indoor Football Network is Tyrell Green, he's a defensive back. He has played for the Salina Liberty now on his second tenure with the Liberty. Also did some time with the Omaha Beef for a while as well. We talked to Tyrell Green earlier this week. We will revisit that conversation. Coming up at halftime, it's our Precision Electric player profile, and it is defensive back Tyrell Green coming up at the intermission. Still a long ways to go, though, until we get to that point. 12:42 left to go here in the second quarter, and it is Omaha 7, Salina 6, and we are still awaiting the results of a self-induced challenge, Brian Berner. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, and it's good that the officials amongst themselves said, hey, let's take a look at this. Now the concern camera angle-wise, you've got a camera at the end zone on the Salina bench area to my left. It's going to go straight down the boards. However, where that reception was made or attempted, whichever it's going to be, it looked as if the officials would be blocking that vantage point. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get a clear view by the video. Then they're going to have to go the way the play was called on the field, which unfortunately is going to be a catch. I say unfortunately from the standpoint of Salina. Omaha is going to say, hey, it was a great catch. So either way, we'll see. But and that's one thing I had a chance to talk to the director of officials for the league prior to the game, and that was one of the topics of our conversation was next year, at what point will the league require a standard of video capabilities, video technology in each arena to go ahead and make consistent video review across all games in the league. And that's one thing as far as the officials go, they feel it's something that is needed now. We'll see as we move on into next season if that becomes a topic of conversation.
Seems to be a lot of discussion and a lot of scuttle about improving certain operations of the league. Usually that's conversations that I hear personally in the offseason. It seems like it started earlier this year with games remaining and examples of, okay, let's make a checklist here. This needs to be better. This needs to be better. This needs to be better. And there are certain people, and I will not say those names, that have been hovering around games here late in the season that we know are fully capable of making this an improved product.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Brian, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I got a glimpse of the white hat coming back through the tunnel, so we will get the call here in just a couple seconds.
Okay, let's try to see if we can pick it up here.
The ruling on the field stands as a completed pass. It'll be first and goal for Omaha. Neither team is charged with the review as the officials reviewed it. First down.
Trying to pick up the referee's mic, but the crowd interaction, I think, tells you a lot.
Yeah, the thing that was mentioned was the play stands. So I don't think there was enough to say it's overturned or it's confirmed. It stands. They're just going to go with the ruling on the field.
Omaha gets a good one there. Inside of the 10-yard line, it's first down and 10, now at the 9. Jackson has a high snap above his helmet. He's going to bring it in, and then he will hand it off to running back Deshaun Jones. Jones will take it to about the 5, or it'll be second down and goal from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Deshaun Jones leads the CIF in rushing touchdowns with 20. Second in the lead in attempts, and he is a force to be reckoned with in that backfield.
Jones out there along with Norman Darden right now. 3 receivers, one of them, Darden, will dispatch out to the right-hand side for the beat. Jones stays in the backfield. They will hand it off to him again. Starts out right, comes back left. Had Tyrell Green around his ankles, and then Dontre Matthews comes in to hit him hard, but he was able to attain the 3-yard line. Third down and goal from the 3 for the Beef.
Yeah, and really close to one of those illegal blindside blocks on middle linebacker Tron Folsom right there that we saw happen last week about 3 or 4 times.
Jackson again with Jones on right hip. Jackson's going to bring Darden underneath the formation. They go back to Jones, and he is going to back his way into the end zone. He reached out for the goal line, lost the football as he hit the turf, but was able to scoop it back in. And Dwayne Autry is down on the field for the Liberty. Touchdown Beef. They have made it now 13-6 with 11:17 left to go, and the clock is stopped for injury and a check on defensive back Dwayne Autry.
Yeah, and Dwayne's going to get up by himself. Looks like his left arm or left shoulder, something on the left side of his upper body seems to be not okay, as he was able to get up and run off the field by himself, as you're going to see. Can't quite tell who's coming in and checking in right there. It looks like maybe Tron Folsom coming back into the game.
Jeremy Reynolds on for the extra point and a chance to make this an 8-point game. Jones, who just scored the touchdown, will be the holder. Good snap, placement down, and the kick is up and good. They're going to throw a flag on this play, Brian, but Shaq Bradford was pushed in to the holder on this play.
Yeah, we'll see if the officials will see the entire play. But I'm with you, it did look like Shaq got pushed in. You know, Shaq always gets a good penetration.
There's no foul on the play, as the defender was blocked into the holder.
Yeah, and of course,
the extra point was
you've
good.
got one head coach in Huron O'Neill walking off the field knowing, hey, our defense didn't get that. And you got Marvin Jones out there waving, flying things to the players, flipping off the crowd, just unsportsmanlike over there.
Wow. Didn't see that. That's unfortunate. 11:08 left to go here as we drive towards our media timeout. 14-6 now. Omaha has gone on a 14-0 run after the Liberty scored the first touchdown of the game. 6-0 it was the score, and then Omaha has now rattled off 2 straight touchdowns.
And that Dwayne Autry injury comes up huge because he is the returner for this Salina Liberty return team. So can't quite tell who we're going to have back. Maybe.
Also, remember, Tracy Brooks was a deep man as well. He is out of this game.
Yeah,
so you have Trey Griffin and Fast Ed.
Yeah, you got Ed Smith back there deep.
Ed Smith in the end zone. Trey Griffin 10 yards in front of him. Jeremy Reynolds on the approach has a dead center of the field, and this is going to be a low line drive kick. Ed's going to take it at the goal line. 5, 10, 15, angles to the right, and he will be escorted up against the barrier between the 15 and 20 yard lines. And that is where this drive will start for the Liberty. Will be their 3rd drive of the game.
I know we talk about this and it's early. There's still 10:59 left to go in this before halftime. But if you're Salina now, you're a drive down. Essentially, could be 2 drives down when Omaha will receive the kickoff to start the second half. So you can't leave any empty drives out on the field.
Javin Kilgo bring his Liberty offense out of the huddle. They will start at their own 18-yard line. 2 receivers on each side. The slot receivers will be in motion here on 1st down and 10. Kilgo takes the waist-high snap, floats it out to Anthony Love. Left-hand side, Love a little shake and bake, and he's going to break off about 4 yards, bringing up 2nd down and 6.
And if you're Salina, Devin, I know you're not getting the spectacular play you normally see in indoor football, but if you're completing a pass for 4 yards every time, you're going to score. So don't go away. If they're going to give up the 4 and 5 yard route that's just standing on the sideline, take it every time.
10 minutes left to go here before halftime. 2nd down and 6 for the Liberty. This time they will go with the 2 receivers on the right in motion, the 2 on the left up at the line of scrimmage. Kilgo takes the snap, clean pocket, has plenty of time, pumps fake. Now he's under pressure. Kilgo has to get out of pressure, and there's going to be a bad block here on the Liberty offensive line right in front of the lead official. The white hat in the backfield saw this as he is going to get a Lecky Tapa for a block in the back here against a rusher for the Omaha Beef.
And once again, Kilgo wanting the big play, and wide receiver right at about the 25-yard line with nobody within 15 to 20 yards of him, just standing over there doing jumping jacks, begging for the ball.
Officials are conferring on this, along with the Omaha defensive coordinator. Now Omaha with 2 coaches on the field.
I think they're trying to see if they want to accept this and make it 2nd and deep, or decline it, and it'll be third down and about 6. That's trust in your coaching staff.
Block in the back. Offense number 79. 10 yards to the previous spot. Replay 2nd down.
Official call. Aleki Tapa got tagged with a block in the back.
I think, Devin, you have to take what the defense is going to give you, and they're giving you
Absolutely.
5 to 7 yards every time right against the wall, and you have to take advantage of that.
Second down and long now. The good news for the Liberty is they are driven back, but they will get to keep that second down. Here's Kilgo, back to pass. Palkett's going to collapse. He's trying to get out of there. Now he's going to be tackled from behind, and he will get to the 15-yard line, just a little bit short of that. And now it's third and long for the Liberty. Boy, it'll be third and about 14 here for the Salina Liberty.
That key penalty and that block in the back on the play 2 plays ago that really set you up way back and kind of changed the progression of this drive, as maybe it turns out to be a great call by the Omaha coaching staff to accept that penalty to push them back, because Salina hasn't been able to make the big play. It's been 4 and 5 yard chunks every time.
Third down and about 14. Steven Fluker will snap this football from the 14-yard line. Kilgo back to pass, unloads it late, and it's going to be caught over here on the near side by Tristan Gould, who is a running back out as a wide receiver on the right-hand side, and Tristan's going to spin his way across the 20-yard line to about the 22. Now that'll bring up fourth down and about 6, maybe even 5 here, as they're going to keep moving this football ahead to about the 23-yard line. So they're a couple of yards shy of the midfield stripe. Fourth down and 6 for the Liberty, and Huron O'Neill, after seeing what his kicking team has been unable to do so far in this game, is going to keep his offense on the field. Big play here early on with 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter.
And I think if you're Salina and Coach Huron O'Neill, this is a no-brainer. You have to go for it right here.
They need about 5.5 yards. Kilgo, 3 receivers, right-hand side. Clean pocket, dumps it off in the middle, and it's dropped. Ed Smith just dropped a first down. He would have had it by a good 5 yards. Kilgo made the right read there. And Fast Ed just dropped it.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to bring us to a media timeout.
Media timeout, we'll take it. 14-6 is our score. Omaha gets the football back, leading by 8. You're listening to Champions Bowl 7, and it's brought to you by the Salina Pain Clinic.
Show Construction does metal roofs. Show Construction offers residential, commercial, and ag metal roofing. Show offers designer rib steel, standing seam, screw-down panels, or stone-coated steel. Show Construction has financing available with low monthly payments. When it's time for a new metal roof, remember Show Construction. We'll travel to you and provide free estimates. Call 833-2007. That's 833-2007. Google us, showroofing.com, or find us on Facebook. Show Construction, the company your neighbors trust.
PRP, or platelet-rich plasma injection therapy, has received quite a bit of attention since its use by many professional athletes. Professional football players like Peyton Manning and Jamal Charles have used PRP therapy for sports injuries and to avoid surgery. But you don't have to be a world-class athlete with millions of dollars for this cutting-edge therapy. PRP is available to you in the Salina Pain Clinic. Call the doctors for a consultation and see if this treatment is right for you. See them at 200 South 5th in the Salina Surgical Arts Center.
The Tony's Pizza Event Center is open for business and ready to welcome you. Whether you have a group of 12 or 1,200, our staff can help you plan the perfect event. With 8 meeting rooms and over 18,000 square feet, the Great Plains Manufacturing Convention Hall has plenty of room for your conference, trade show, wedding, or banquet, while our in-house food and beverage team can craft a menu to suit any event. Schedule your personalized tour today by calling Tony's Pizza Event Center or visit Tony'sPizzaEventCenter.com.
The Liberty plays here. Salina's sports station is KINA.
7:45 left to go here in the second quarter. Omaha seems to be in early control of this game as they lead it by 8 and also now have the football at midfield after a dropped pass on fourth down by the Liberty. Jackson wants it all. No, he doesn't. He's going to scramble out right-hand side after a little shoulder flip. And he is going to throw it away, scrambling out to the right, trying to hook up that time with what so far has been the favorite target in this game, Russ, Alexander Noble.
Yeah, Noble, just an excellent receiver out on the far side of the field. And, you know, Andrew Jackson not seeing any pressure. This Salina defense has only rushed 2 guys about every time. So at some point, I think maybe, yeah, you're playing coverage, but you're going to have to get pressure on Andrew Jackson.
But usually it's not Noble. It's Montero Du Bois, Tyler Jones, Rashad Pargo. It's those names. Noble has been big so far in this game, and Jackson is looking for him a lot. Here's a little delay handoff. Norman Darden will plunge ahead this time, get about 3 yards. 3rd down and 7 coming up now for the Beef. 6:39 left to play before half.
Looks like Travis Taylor now going to check in. I can't quite tell if that's Shaq Bradford maybe checking out on the sideline.
Taylor, Isaiah Blackman now, Keenan Gibbs, your front three for Salina. 3 receivers on the right-hand side in motion for Omaha. Here's a completion down to the 5. One of them got free, and that is Norman Darden again. Darden has been very good so far in this game. He has a touchdown and just caught a ball there all the way down to the 6-yard line. And once again, Omaha just on the outside of the red zone looking to score. Dwayne Autry still on the bench, still trying to work out that left shoulder, trying to encourage the crowd with the other right arm. Darden on a sweep, wants it to the right. Liberty standing up, giving him nothing, no gain on the play. 2nd down and 6 coming up from the goal line situation.
Yeah, the far official had it. Might leave it, yeah, it looks like no gain, as one had it spotted at about a 2-yard loss. So Salina defense, we've seen them in this spot multiple times this year, and they're just going to have to stand up right here and get a stand. And Ron O'Neal on the sideline trying to get this crowd involved.
2nd down and goal from the 6. Jackson trying to dispatch his troops where they need to be. He will have Darden and Tyler Jones, that's Montero Du Bois in the slots. Here's a slant play, and it goes to the end zone, and it's another touchdown for Omaha. Slant play on the right-hand side. Andrew Jackson delivered that ball, and it goes to the before-mentioned Alexander Noble for a 6-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, and a great route there by Noble. Just a 1-2, and then bodied up the defender and got it where his body was inside, and a great ball by Andrew Jackson again. And now you'll have Jeremy Reynolds on for the PAT attempt.
Reynolds, placement down by Deshaun Jones. He'll punch it through, and it is now a 15-point lead. Omaha cruising here at Tony's Pizza Event Center with 4:34 left to play before the intermission break.
Yeah, and I think, Brian, if you're this Salina Liberty offense, you got to get points on the board here with Omaha getting the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, this definitely becomes one of those must-score type drives for 2 reasons. One, you've got to get the points on the board, but I think you've got to get the confidence back. You get some confidence on the offensive side. I think that's going to bleed over and give your defense the confidence as well. Credit to Omaha. They've done a good job of mixing things up. They've looked, and Andrew's done what Andrew does. He's not flashy. He's not going to run. He's going to be patient in that pocket and try to pick you apart, which he's been able to do so far in this first half.
Devin, I'll let you take this. And look, a good sign for this Salina Liberty return team is Dwayne Autry back out on the field.
Autry is out there. He is standing in his own 1-yard line. In front of him, I believe it is Fast Ed. I cannot see a number. And the kickoff will go. Nope, it's Trey Griffin. Had to glance off his right shoulder pad. Now he turns, gets it on the bounce. Was very fortunate there. And it comes up to the 19-yard line. And now a flag will fly in. I presume this is going to be a personal foul, unnecessary roughness penalty, as basically Omaha clotheslined Trey Griffin on that tackle.
Well, and Trey just comes walking away holding his face mask. So I'm wondering if it might be he feels that there is a face mask called or should be called on that tackle.
That might take this ball all the way down if the penalty's at the 20-yard line. It might take this penalty, if it is a face mask, all the way down to the Omaha 15-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 15.
It is a personal foul face mask against the Omaha coverage team, so that will give Salina their biggest offensive play of the night via penalty here on the special teams on the kick return. Salina still huddling back at their own 15-yard line, but they're going to have a line of scrimmage now at the Omaha 15-yard line. And what I don't want to paint this as a fairy tale with unicorns and rainbows here, guys, but Salina needs to score a touchdown here.
Yeah, you've got to. Obviously, we've seen the special teams game struggle, and you got to put 6 points up on the board.
Or 8. Here's a gift to Tristan Gould. His first carry of the game. He has a reception, and he crashes his way down to the 10-yard line. Gould inactive over the last 2 weeks because of the reemergence of Tracy Brooks coming back from injury. But when Tracy got re-injured in the Billings game, Tristan now back on the roster along with Trey Griffith at the running back spots.
And with Omaha's secondary dropping way off, that draw play may be there for quite a while until they make an adjustment.
2nd down and 5 at the 10-yard line. Pitch out, Gould, right-hand side. He's going to plant, cut it back up, destroy a defensive back, and get it down to the 4-yard line. Steven Fluker clapping his hands as he's feeling it here for the Liberty, trying to recapture some momentum with 3:24 left to go in the second quarter. 2 big runs by Gould, and now the Liberty have a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
And you talked to Coach off the air, and he said Tristan Gould had an absolute phenomenal week of practice, and it is showing on those last 2 carries.
He remains in the backfield. Tristan Gould started out with the Southwest Kansas Storm earlier this season. Now Liberty running back. He'll take a pitch out left-hand side, and it's a Liberty touchdown. Tristan Gould ran right into the back of one of his blockers. It was, I believe, wide receiver Demarius Washington, Brian, laying right in front of you, and D-Wash is down.
Yeah, D-Wash, I didn't see what it actually came about or how he got laid out, but he is in pain right down here in front of me. It was kind of a lead box that came in front.
I saw it. He was engaged in a block, and Tristan Gould went right into his back. Boy, he is still down. Seth, the trainer, out there looking at him. And boy, D-Wash has really been banged up over the last couple of weeks. But a touchdown here for the Liberty with 3 minutes left to go here in this first half.
And Jimmy Allen out on for the extra point. So it's good to see D-Wash get up. We saw him get banged up last week, but we talked about it. Even a guy that plays as hard and is as spectacular of a playmaker as D-Wash, a guy like him at 60, 70% is still going to draw a lot of coverage.
3-yard run there by Tristan Gould. Now the attempt for the extra point. Try to make this an 8-point game. Kelvin McCoy snaps it back. Javin Kilgo with the placement down. Jimmy Allen's kick is up and good. 3 minutes left to play here in the first half. And the Salina Liberty go down the field with a drive of a little more than 1.5 minutes to get a touchdown and an extra point.
Brian, I'm going to revert to you on this. You've got 3 minutes left to go. Omaha scores quick. If you're this Salina defense, am I wrong that you have to get pressure on quarterback Andrew Jackson?
Well, I think you always have to get pressure on him, whether it's with, even if you just send 2 guys back, drop some coverage, try to get as much pressure, take those opportunities. We know Andrew well enough. He's not the type that's just going to tuck it in and run unless he absolutely has to. So I think that gives you time to try to track him down. Situation is this: how much protection can they give? How many people will Salina put in to that rush? I mean, it's a great cat and mouse type game between these 2 coaching staffs. This game, it's not on the side we wanted to right now, but I think it's what we expected. Hard-nosed, hard-fought game. You guys mentioned which team's going to make that first mistake.
Jimmy Allen has it teed up. He's shaded the football on the tee to the right-hand side of the field between the numbers and the hash mark. Deshaun Jones back deep to field this high end-over-end kick 3 yards deep in the end zone. He'll bring it out now to the 5-10, runs into one of his own blockers, and he is trying to drag one of the Liberty coverage men, and he cannot, as Travis Taylor was there to bring him down at the 11, and a flag now on a Liberty coverage man.
Unfortunately, what we're going to have is it's like Anthony took his helmet off, just trying to get the team pumped up, but took his helmet off, threw it down onto the ground, and that's going to, I think, result in the potentially an unsportsmanlike penalty. We'll see.
I have 2 words. Why?
Yeah, he's walking off the bench. Nobody even around him. He's 15 yards away from the play, and he throws his helmet just trying to get the team fired up. I get it. This is Champions Bowl, but you have to know that this is what's going to happen if you act like that.
That penalty, 15 yards to the end of the run. And
now that's going to put the football in Salina territory. And once again, Omaha starting on their own side of the 25-yard line.
What a bonehead play. Omaha gave Salina a gift on a face mask call. Now Salina gives it right back to them. The Beef have a short field. Now starting out at the Liberty 22-yard line. Norman Darden is in the backfield. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Now looks like Andrew Jackson's going to check out of this. 6 seconds left on the play clock. Dwayne Autry now playing defense. Pitch out, left-hand side. Darden strung out to the 20. And then a big collision there just inside of the 20-yard line after Darden was able to get 3 yards. 2:14 left to go here in the second quarter.
Guys, maybe a great check down there by Andrew Jackson.
Two slot receivers in motion, 2nd and 7. Here's a lollipop to the end zone, and Darden cannot come up with it. Looking back over his shoulder, looked like he did not extend his arms to the necessary length to get that football. And Brian, down on the field, we talk about this a lot, not only in this arena, but other arenas that we have gone to. The new LED lighting that arenas have put in the last 5 years can sometimes really affect you seeing a white football.
Yeah, you look straight up, and if you're not used to it, you're going to get a tremendous glare and reflection right back into you, and I think that was Darden's issue.
3rd down and 7 over the middle. Darden makes it up, though. He comes in and makes a spectacular alligator arm catch. He just closed it right up on that football at the 10-yard line and gets a 1st down as we approach the 60-second warning, and that will be our last play of the second quarter. 1 minute left to go. When we come back, a 60-second warning makes us have a 60-second timeout. 21-13, Beef by 8, knocking on the door for more when we come back here on KINA.
Kids and grandkids, vacation activities, simply traveling on a plane or in a vehicle. These are just a few of the things that pain can affect and keep you from doing, and constant pain is, well, it's a pain. If you or someone you love suffers from back pain or severe joint pain, visit the Salina Pain Clinic. Their physicians can evaluate your pain to determine the best non-narcotic plan to help manage your pain. Speak to your doctor about a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic inside Surgical Arts Center, downtown Salina, or salinapainclinic.org.
Summertime is a great time to get your business in front of potential clients and add a personal touch to koozies, coolers, hats, and t-shirts. Plan for fairs and parade season now with BizSwag. Need help or suggestions? Give us a call. There's hundreds of things we can utilize to market your business or event. At BizSwag, we are passionate about promotions, and promoting your business is our business. BizSwag in downtown Abilene. BIZSWAG. See us on Facebook. Your quote is free.
You're listening to Salina Liberty Football on KINA Sports.
1 minute left to go here in the first half. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. Omaha Beef has an 8-point lead. They also have preferred field position as they are setting now at the Liberty 10-yard line with a 1st and goal. Jackson back to pass, has to dump it off to Norman Darden, and Darden will skate in untouched for his 2nd touchdown of the game. 27-13 Beef.
Sorry, Devin, but there's a lot of confusion in this backfield, and that was an extremely well-ran pick play by this Omaha Beef wide receiving core as the defensive backs ran right into, and just a great job right there by Andrew Jackson, knowing that pick play was coming, and everybody's seen it. So, I don't know, but a great play call. But now Jeremy Reynolds on for the extra point.
Reynolds has been perfect so far tonight. He will try to put his 4th extra point on the 4th Beef touchdown in this game. And already Omaha has exceeded what Salina Liberty's defense has given up on average for points in a game all season long. Deshaun Jones will put the placement down. Extra point by Reynolds is up and right through the middle. 28-13 now, Beef.
Now we got a flag and an Omaha player going at adding a Salina Liberty player and then add an official and the same aspect. So if you're Salina, if this play is on Omaha, you need a good return here to try to get it as we all know in this rivalry that I think is stronger than any rivalry in the CIF, that it is going to get chippy at times, and I'm honestly surprised that it's taken this long.
The results of the play, the extra point was good. After the play, with a dead ball, unsportsmanlike on Salina. That penalty will be banked and assessed after the kickoff.
Gibson Saya again, who has been very animated.
Wait,
he
just said that's against Salina.
Yeah, they just said it's going to go against Salina.
Number 4,
line judge.
His first unsportsmanlike for disqualification.
The line judge, after that touchdown, was going over towards a couple of the Salina players. There was some verbal exchange. Now, I'm at the entirely opposite end of the field, so not sure what it was about, but there was a lot of animation going back between the two. I think that kind of carried over. Words obviously were said that resulted in the unsportsmanlike. So everything going against Salina right now, especially as we had this 2-for-1 opportunity. Now, Salina, they've got 55 seconds. However, like you said, they're going to have to get a good return because they will immediately go back 15 yards from wherever this ends up.
Wow. Here's Reynolds on the kick. He's just going to kick it out of bounds because he knows he has some room to deal with here. So even though the ball's going to come out to the 25, they're going to back it up and put it back at the 10.
The ball was kicked in the air over the wall. By rule, the ball be placed at the 25 yyard line.
So wait a minute. Did they call the play wrong? I could have swore if they pointed
first down.
And they're going half the distance to the goal.
I'm wondering if they're walking the wrong direction. From what the white hat indicated, was it was against Salina.
Yeah, now yeah, they're coming back here. They're going to the 10. 55 seconds left here for Salina. Got to keep in mind, and we always have to mention this in indoor football, Omaha deferred on the coin toss, so they will have the football to start second half. So Liberty, again, really kind of in, I don't want to say desperation mode, but it is needed to have a touchdown here to get 7 points on the board.
And D. Washington is back out on the field for this Salina Liberty offense.
3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Tristan Gould will stay in the backfield, left hip of Javin Kilgo. They're going to hand it off to Gould. Gould all the way through into the second level, and he's going to have a big carry out to the 25-yard line. Now they're going to stop the clock and move the sticks.
Yeah, Coach O wants more time back on the clock because he called timeout, and I think there was about 3 more seconds left on the clock. But
did he call a timeout?
Yeah, he ran up to the far line judge and called a timeout.
Their first charge timeout to have.
There it is. There's
this
an official call. Salina now
timeout.
calling a timeout. 49 seconds left. Salina still has 2 timeouts remaining, and they trail it by 15. It's going to be a short-lived timeout, though. They just did it for clock management issues to save time on the clock. Liberty already back, ready to go. Omaha's water crew still on the field, trying to keep the beef from drying out as the football's at the 25-yard line. First down and 10. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Tristan Gould still in the backfield here for Salina. Kilgo back to pass. Wants to go left-hand side. D-Wash inside the 10 to the 7.5-yard line. Blasted up against the wall, but then brushes it off and flexes on the DB. Big collision over there, though, on that side.
And that's once again, the sidelines have been wide open from 5 to 10 yards. Just throw the ball right there. You don't have to do nothing fancy. You're getting 6 yards of carry the clock should have stopped on that play, and it kept running.
I mean, we're probably looking at 42,
the play went out of bounds.
44.
The clock should not start until the snap. Please set the clock to 44 seconds. 44 seconds.
Omaha water guys continually trying to bring water on the field, and we don't have a break and play yet.
It's not Wagyu beef. Can't dry out.
44 seconds left to go. 28-13. Omaha trying to protect their 15-point lead before half. 3 receivers, right-hand side. Pitch out. Tristan Gould plants it back to the middle. He will have a big collision down to the 5, and now a timeout here. Maybe?
No.
No, they're going to let it run. It's always amazing to me what kind of strategic plan is in effect to not let the other team have any time remaining, because we all know 5 seconds is all you really need to get the kick return and then maybe score one play and have a touchdown. This clock has rolled all the way down to 16. Fake pitch out, Kilgo looking in the end zone, up top, D-Wash off his right glove, and it's going to go to the back of the end zone, and now bring up 3rd down and goal from the 6. Clock stops here with 12 seconds left on the clock.
Well, and guys, I think part of the situation by not calling that timeout, when you're in the goal-to-go situation, you don't have to worry about getting that first down. It's just a matter of, we've got, prior to that, we're going to have 3 plays to try to get it into the end zone. So now you've got 3rd and 6 with 12 seconds, timing up for 2 plays.
Still 2 timeouts left on the clock. You can run or pass here. 3 receivers left-hand side. Kilgo back to pass. He's going to be under pressure, sacked back at the 16. Ron O'Neill wanting the timeout. He's going to get it with 6 seconds left to go. And the Liberty have just lost 10 yards on that quarterback sack. Coming, busting through the line of scrimmage there for the Omaha Beef was Saya Gibson.
Their second charge timeout of the half. This would be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, and give that one up. That might be a coverage sack for this Omaha defense, as they had well covered this Salina wide receivers on the far side, and it looks like Coach is trying to take points again and bringing Jimmy Allen out after the kicking woes that have been, to try to bring this to a 12-point game.
Omaha's going to call a timeout here with 6 seconds left on the
Omaha,
clock.
Their first charge timeout of the half.
Either try to get
30-second timeout
lined up to what they want to do, or I don't know if you ice Jimmy Allen or not. You can stick with us here at halftime. We will have a conversation with Tyrell Green, defensive back for the Salina Liberty. Also did some time in Omaha. He will be our Precision Electric player profile coming up at the break. 28-13, Liberty looking for 3 here. And it looks like Javin Kilgo at the 21-yard line. Be a 29-yard attempt. Omaha blocked an extra point earlier. They have gotten good pressure on the kicking unit. Kilgo has to take an outside snap, get it back inside, and Jimmy's kick is up and good. Jimmy Allen drills that kick for 29 yards, and he will put 3 points on the board for the Salina Liberty, bringing this back to within 12 with 2 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and I think, Brian, right now, if you're the coverage team, I think you squib kick it here. Don't give them a chance. Just let the time run out.
Yeah, I think you're right. You've got to just kind of put it down, make it tough to handle, but you've got to make sure your coverage team gets down there to make that play. Don't give anything big up, because that would be detrimental not only on a potential scoreboard, but ego-wise and confidence-wise as you go into halftime.
29-yard field goal by Jimmy Allen brings us back to a 12-point contest. Omaha, though, will have a chance here with 2 seconds left to play at the end of the first half. They will also get the football to begin second half.
And I think that's big to get points there. You're still at a one-score game, or not quite a one-score game, but you got to keep it within distance. And right now, you have to keep this Omaha team from returning this kick out, knowing that they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
Just 2 seconds left to play here. Of course, all kinds of strategies here as well. Do you kick it out of bounds on purpose to give them a short field? Do you want your defense out there? Do you keep it in play? Looks like they're going to keep it in play here. Deshaun Jones will take it just a yard deep in the end zone. Now he has a crease. Deshaun Jones spins it off on the left-hand side, still fighting for yardage, and he's going to be driven out of bounds at the 21-yard line with no time left on the clock, and that will bring us to halftime. It's a first half dominated by the Omaha Beef thus far, a 28-16 score. Let's go down the field. Here's Coach with Brian.
Coach, 28-16 at halftime. Potential adjustments for the second half.
We got a lot of adjustments to make. We got to play better in our secondary, and we got to get a better pass rush. Offensively, it's just connections all around, offensive line as well as at the receiver spot. So we got a lot of things to correct.
All right, good luck second half, Coach. Devin, back up to you.
First ballot Hall of Famer Ron O'Neal, as he goes to the locker room here at halftime. 28-16 is our score. When we come back, we will have our Precision Electric player profile, and it will be Tyrell Green, the defensive back for the Salina Liberty. In his second stint with the Liberty team, also had an experience in Omaha as well. So we will talk to Tyrell Green, an interview that we will revisit from earlier in the week. When we come back, it's our Precision Electric player profile. Omaha leads it at the half, 28-16, right here on KINA.
Now is the time to celebrate summer and look fantastic with Salina Medical Aesthetics. Summer is fun. We all love to take in the sunshine, and we also need to take care of our skin. Right now at Salina Medical Aesthetics, all skincare products are 20% off. For fine lines, dull appearance, and rough, dry texture, brighten your skin tone with a 20-minute express peel and complimentary brightening mask. For year-round skincare, follow SME on social media and visit their website at salinamedaesthetics.org.
Think about the word precision. Precision represents quality and the fact of being exact and accurate. Isn't that what you want when it comes to electrical? Precision Electrical Contractors in Salina brings exact and accurate quality to electrical jobs in Central Kansas since 2003. Precision Electric's focus on quality and performance, combined with their experience and dedication, creates a winning set of finished products which saves their customers money. Don't rely on so-so electrical. Visit the team at Precision Electrical Contractors, online at pecsalina.com.
Air conditioner breakdowns never happen at a good time. With same-day service, Comfort Heating and Air will get your AC up and running. We always offer free replacement quotes. Right now, we even have 0% financing options. If you're strapped for cash with less than perfect credit, no worries. Just ask about our Easy Pay in-house payment programs. Keeping your family cool and comfortable this summer, call the company that cares, Comfort Heating and Air, with locations in Salina and Clay Center.
You can rely on the company that cares. We're Comfort Heating and Air.
Don't go another day with roof problems. Ryan Roofing will provide you with the world's best roof, the Durolast roofing system, custom prefabricated to fit your specific building. Your Durolast roof will be leak-free with virtually no maintenance. It's resistant to fire, high winds, chemicals, and temperature extremes. Plus, there are potential energy savings versus traditional roofing. Ryan Roofing has installed over 10 million square feet of Durolast roofing. Trust Ryan Roofing to solve your commercial roofing needs. Call for a quote today, 825-0475.
This is the Liberty Halftime Report. Coming up, a first half recap, stats, interviews, and a look at other CIF games. Now let's head back to the arena for Liberty Halftime on KINA.
Back here at halftime, Champions Bowl 7, Salina Liberty taking on the Omaha Beef, and it's time for our Precision Electric player profile, brought to you by Precision Electric and also Street Plumbing and Heating, and it is defensive back Tyrell Green for the Salina Liberty. Tyrell Green, defensive back for the Salina Liberty. We've been wanting to talk to you for a while here because you have been in and out of this Liberty program once or twice, but I want to kind of go back here. We always start at the beginning because everybody's got a story, right? So we're pegging you in Florida, growing up in Florida. Is that right?
Yeah, Florida.
So what was being Tyrell Green as a kid like? What did you get into? Was it all the sports? Was it just football? Where were you at as a kid?
So I started with soccer. That was my first sport. A family friend just seen me outside playing and asked my dad if I could play soccer. So I thought I was going to be a soccer player, and I played soccer for a good little while. And I was super fast, so it just kind of worked. That's where I got all my footwork from, and I guess just being fast.
As I'm smiling as you say that, it makes sense now. So that's a footwork sport, right?
So from there, my first year of football, I think I was like 7. My uncle put me in football like when I was 7 years old, and I fell in love. Like I told him, I don't want to play no other sport. Don't take me nowhere. I want to play baseball. I want to play basketball. I just want to play football. So from there, man, I just fell in love with it, and I continue to play. Yeah.
So you were a tunnel vision football guy early on after soccer. So you played the football, and then you played the football, right? So that makes sense when you have all the footwork down and things like that. One thing that comes with helmet and pads is the physicality. Was that something that kind of attracted you to the sport?
I think so. I think I always grew up kind of rough. I used to like hanging out with older kids. So being that young kid hanging with older kids, you always had to fight or just get beat up, or they just used to bully you. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you don't get bullied, then you got to fight back or talk back. So I think that kind of gave me that little edge to me. So I was always ready for contact. It didn't bother me. I used to like hitting with my head because I used to like the noise it made. So until we found out you shouldn't hit like that, but that's how I used to hit my first couple years of park ball. I used to run with my head so I could hear it. But physicality, I was never worried about it. Yeah.
So was Tyrell Green always a defensive player, or were you running back, quarterback? Because a lot of you guys are well-rounded, and that kind of fits this game, because sometimes you may be called on to go play receiver spot via injury or something like that. Right. Where were you kind of in and out at?
So I mainly was a running back. I always played both sides of the ball, but in my head, I was a true running back. That's all I ever wanted to play. Because I used to like Emmitt Smith. You know, I grew up in Pensacola, so he's a Pensacola guy, and I used to tell my mom, when I get older, I'll break his record. But as I got older, I realized that people in my family were all DBs, and we all excelled at DB. So I think it was around 10th grade where it was just like, okay, I understand. I'm a DB. I'm just nice at DB. So I stopped playing on offense, and I completely just focused all in on DB. Yeah.
When you are in an offensive position like that where you're playing both sides of the ball and then you cut one off and kind of move on, defense is a lot about reads and a lot about anticipation, right? Mm-hmm. Having that experience on the offensive side of the ball, does that help you when you go to the other side?
I think to an extent, because when you're at running back, I mean, you know when you're getting the ball, it's not really like you have to anticipate it. You either getting the ball or you're not. Mm-hmm. So I think on the defensive side of the ball, I kind of had to – it just grew naturally as I played more and more as far as the anticipation, because I wasn't a receiver. Maybe if I played receiver, it might have been a little different. Yeah. But since I was playing running back, it's like I said, you're getting the ball or you're not. Yeah.
What was high school like for you?
High school was different, man. So I moved from Florida to Atlanta.
Okay.
So when I got to Atlanta, I ended up transferring to two different high schools. One of the high schools we played in the state championship. So it was a bigger school, a huge school. We think we were 4A. 4A was right under 5A, which was the biggest division in Atlanta at the time.
Okay.
But the experience of it all, I think, helped because, Georgia has good football too. A lot of those guys are bigger. So you have more meat on those teams rather than Florida where you have the speed. So it was kind of well-rounded where you had bigger guys and faster guys at the same time. So it kind of just helped me stretch myself a little bit. Okay, I know I'm a little smaller, I'm a little thinner, so I had to get in the weight room. Yeah. So I think that helped me out a lot, just going up there to finish playing football. Yeah.
When did you know going through high school? Because I feel like everybody kind of comes to that intersection of, I can probably do this at the next level. I can probably play college football somewhere. When did your phone start ringing? When did you start getting letters?
So the funny thing is, when I was playing park ball, I was already getting letters in Florida. I think my first letter was from Duke when I was playing for Bellevue Park in Florida. And then we kind of just up and moved, so I kind of disappeared off the grid. I had letters coming in 10th grade, 11th grade, but when I switched schools, it kind of stopped. And then I want to say 11th and 12th grade, I didn't have much going on. That 12th grade year, my 11th grade year, my coach didn't want to play me because I couldn't make it to summer workouts a lot.
Okay.
And I stayed on the east side of Atlanta, and my school's on the north side. So you're talking about a 45-minute drive there.
Maybe.
Yeah, right. So, my mom, her engine blew out, so I couldn't make it to summer. And that's what sat me my 11th grade year. So my 12th grade year for me was a big deal because I knew, in order to get a shot at the next level, not even the next level because I knew I could play college, but I wanted to go Division I. I knew I had to stand out and do everything I could, so I just made it. I just had tunnel vision my senior year, just trying to be the best player on the field. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you. With that kind of adversity and all the stuff that you had to overcome, whether it's not playing or just not being able to make it to practice like that, did that focus you for senior year? I mean, did it kind of dial you in a little bit because there was still something to prove? Obviously, you believed that you could do it.
Yeah, 100%, because I knew I was the best DB on that team, but he wasn't going to play me just because I missed practice. So for me, it was about getting bigger. So when we had weightlifting class, a lot of times our coach would just let us go down and play basketball. I didn't go play basketball. I was in the gym lifting because I knew I had to gain weight. And then just not playing that other side of the ball. I mean, I knew I need to dial in on DB and become the best DB I could. So I just focused up, had the best senior year I could possibly have, and then from there, I mean, I did my own recruiting. I went home after school every day and called every single Division I school in the nation and emailed every single coach. And then Murray State was the one that hit me up, and all I needed was one. So
you kind of sold yourself to the racers, and you and I were talking before we went on the air. It's interesting maybe to me because this team with the Liberty, they've had a lot of history with Murray State guys. You, Kamali Matthews, who was here last year, and also Travis Taylor, who's been here. This is a Murray State-rich team, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my boy. So, you know, we come from a good tradition at Murray State. Coach Hatcher is who most of us played for while we was there. He was at Georgia Southern at first, so, you know, he came from a traditional program being at Georgia Southern. So it's a lot of small things that he used to put in our head, just as far as being great and trying to be the best. So I think we all carry that with us. You see, we all kind of excelled on the field, so we just take that mentality everywhere.
What was college like for you? What did you learn there? Because I always talk, you know, with guys, and it seems like there is one or two things that really sticks out in your mind and really kind of affected you for the future when you're in college.
Right. I would say my college experience is a little different from a lot of people's because I just so happened to go to 5 different colleges. I played at every single one of them, but it was just a lot of moving around. So for me, it was kind of learning the politics of the game, that even though they bring you in, coaches are not your friend. You're there to make an impact on the team.
It's a business.
Right, it's a business. And I learned that in college. So coming to the pro level from college, I always took that with me in the back of my mind, was like, you got to do your job, you know, because it's exactly like college. It's not about, you know, can you play? You got to do the whole thing as far as talking to the coaches and being a good person off the field and things like that. So I think my college experience just shaped me to be able to adapt a lot. Like I said, I went to a lot of schools, so being able to go to new places and adapt and fit in and just do what I needed to do right away it taught me how to do that pretty good,
So what was your mindset when you're wrapping up college? Were you kind of looking around the corner? Did you think football was still a possibility, or where were you at that stage?
Right. At that stage, always. My mindset in college was I'm not playing college football to stop playing football after college, because I feel like you miss out on a lot of things as an athlete in college, because if I'm going for academics, well, you don't get to go to the clubs and different things that not street clubs. I'm talking about like the different programs and clubs that help you develop educationally as far as furthering your career. So I knew we didn't have that time. I was a biology major. I wanted to be a physical therapist, but we didn't have the time to do that. So it's like, okay, if I'm going to sacrifice all this time to football, I'm going to the pro level. So that was always my mindset. So as soon as college ended, I immediately went to training, had an agent, you know, worked out for CFL teams, a couple NFL teams. So it was never a doubt in my mind that I wasn't going to play pro somewhere.
What was your first stop after college?
My first stop after college was Coach O in Dodge City. Yeah.
Okay.
So 2017, that was my first stop. Yep.
So asking that, you've gone full circle here a couple different times with Coach O, but also with the Salina Liberty. You were here and made a run. When you left the Liberty, if I remember right, you were looking at a CFL opportunity in Canada, right? How did that go?
So it went pretty good. I was in camp. I ended up getting released in camp. But for me and the people around, I do feel like I was one of the better DBs out there. But like I said, you have to learn, like Coach O says, the game within the game. And my game within the game that I didn't really do well on was just that talking aspect of everybody and building relationships with the coaches, because in my mind, where I come from, if you could play, they're going to find you. That's what I was always told. So I used to let my talent on the field kind of speak for me, but I realized moving up, okay, if you have two guys that are equally good, they're going to go with the guy they've built a better relationship with. So I think that was one of the things that kind of hurt me, just because, I mean, I would wake up, go to breakfast, I got my headphones on, I'm getting ready for the day, I try to get a job. So for me, it was more of a locked in, and if you don't know me, you would think that's standoffish, but it's just a locked-in thing. Even when I first got to Coach O in 2017, I didn't talk much. I wasn't a big talker. I kind of just focus and listen, and then I go on the field and do what I got to do. So, yeah, I think that's what hurt me, but the experience was cool to be able to be back in that atmosphere of high-level football. You know, you got all these different guys from the NFL, and it just showed me I can compete with these guys, and it proved to myself that, you know I can compete with them.
So I have to ask, because I think I remember this correctly, and I'm not looking for bulletin board material here, but you also had to stop in Omaha with the beef, correct?
Right.
So what was that like for you?
You want the real story?
I mean, you can say pass if you want, but.
So when I got to Omaha, I tried to come back. So after I got released from the CFL, I tried to come back to Salina. Salina was my first call. I called Coach O, but he didn't have anything available at the time. So I had a couple guys that I used to play with that were not at Omaha, Trey Dudley Giles. That's one of my boys. He played with us here at Salina. Right. Yeah. So, you know, they brought me to Omaha. So when I got to Omaha, it was just a little bit different, just because the coaching style and the players that were there. I'm used to more of an organized, tight-knit group. This group was kind of sporadic, and they were kind of, you know, they kind of hung with amongst themselves with different people. It wasn't as close-knit, and it just wasn't the type of organization I was used to being in. So for me, I wasn't comfortable playing in that organization. I used to get frustrated a lot playing in that organization. But, I mean, Coach O tried to trade for me while I was there.
Yeah.
They denied the trade.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just had to stick it out and just do what I could. Yeah. So.
It seems like, Tyrell, timing is everything, right? So when you're getting the phone call to come back to Salina, what's the first thing that ran through your mind?
Oh, back to Kansas.
Yeah. 105 every day.
So it's kind of funny because when I got that phone call, I was playing in the IFL with San Diego Strike Force.
Yeah.
So I literally just got off the plane and got to Florida. And as soon as I walked in the house, Coach O was calling me. And he was like, T. Green, how you feel about coming back to Salina? And I was like, Coach, I just got home. I've been traveling for like 15 hours. But, you know, he told me that we had a run. We could make a run to the championship, and he let me know what guys were here. And it's a bunch of guys that were here that I've heard of in the league that were really good players, but I never got the opportunity to play with them. I played against them a couple times, but never on the same team with them. So for me, it was like, man, you got a good group of guys like that I'm willing to come with and try and make this run. So, you know, it was a no-brainer. Yeah.
What's it like for you going into this game Saturday? Because just the fact that you have bounced around a little bit, but coming home, it feels like a little bit, because you know how this franchise works and kind of the family atmosphere with it. I get the feeling that you guys are playing not only for yourselves, but also for a lot of other people in this organization and the fans as well, because, I mean, let's face it, they haven't had a championship in indoor football yet, have had a couple opportunities, but it's time to close it out.
Right. For me, this feels like we getting redemption at something that was taken away from us in 2018. And for me, 2017 as well, with Dodge City, where we got our games taken away, so we lost the home playoffs and everything like that. So it feels like everything was put back in order for us to be able to get this home playoff game, and then Sioux City loses for us to be able to play the championship at home. It feels like everything that was supposed to happen in 2017 is now happening here in Salina. So it's just like one of those things that we got to get it done. I think everybody's on the same page. It's just, we got to get it done.
We'll leave it at that, right? Tyrell Green, he's a defensive back on the league's best defense.
That's been our conversation with Tyrell Green, the Precision Electric player profile for Champions Bowl 7. We are at halftime. When we come back, we'll take a look and a recap of the first half and get you all ready for second half action. The trophy is on the line when we come back here at Tony's Pizza Event Center right here on KINA.
When you hire Street Plumbing, Heating, and Electric in Salina and Lincoln, you'll be making a great decision. Providing full-service plumbing and HVAC, they have the knowledge and skills to get the job done right the first time. They work with you throughout the project to ensure you get the personalized service you deserve from licensed and insured technicians. Excellent customer service in Central Kansas since 1985. The experienced team will clean the premises once the job is done. Street Plumbing, Heating, and Electric. Know them better at streetphe.com.
PRP, or platelet-rich plasma injection therapy, has received quite a bit of attention since its use by many professional athletes. Professional football players like Peyton Manning and Jamal Charles have used PRP therapy for sports injuries and to avoid surgery. But you don't have to be a world-class athlete with millions of dollars for this cutting-edge therapy. PRP is available to you in the Salina Pain Clinic. Call the doctors for a consultation and see if this treatment is right for you. See them at 200 South 5th in the Salina Surgical Arts Center.
When pests have become too much, it's time to call Hassman Termite and Pest Control. With staff having over 150 years of combined experience, we offer all services for structural pests: termites, ants, roaches, spiders, crickets, mice, and bed bugs. In our 60th year of our family serving yours, give us a call or visit us on the web at hassmantermite.com or see us on Facebook.
Summer is here and we have your beer at Salina Wholesale Liquor. The best variety of ready-to-drink cocktails, seltzers, and everyday beer specials. We always have great deals on case orders and 15% off for Wine Wednesday and 5% discounts for Craft Beer Thursday. Grab your favorites or try something new and don't forget the ice. Save big now at all 3 locations in Salina, at Sam's Club, off 9th Street behind Cadova, and on the corner of Iron and Ohio. We have better prices, we're cool and quicker. Salina Wholesale Liquor.
K4 Trailer, RV and truck accessories in Salina has been selling every type of trailer and customizing the baddest trucks in central Kansas for 24 years. Now, K4 is your local dealer for the fastest growing equipment trailer company known as Iron Bull. Plus, Sundowner's newest line of toy haulers, Blazer. K4 is one of the largest stocking trailer dealers in Kansas. K4 also services what they sell and will help you hitch and go. K4 Trailer, RV and truck accessories on West State Street in Salina and K4TrailerSales.com.
Oh my, what a fresh smell, and this entire place is so clean.
You would never guess our friend here is talking about a porta potty. Not just any porta potty. This is a portable bathroom from Salina Septic Service. Salina Septic Service is changing the game with higher standards of cleanliness and service. Porta potties don't have to be gross, so don't accept any less when you can have the best from Salina Septic Service. Now serving Hutch, McPherson, and the Gray Bend areas.
The Tony's Pizza Event Center is open for business and ready to welcome you. Whether you have a group of 12 or 1,200, our staff can help you plan the perfect event. With 8 meeting rooms and over 18,000 square feet, the Great Plains Manufacturing Convention Hall has plenty of room for your conference, trade show, wedding, or banquet, while our in-house food and beverage team can craft a menu to suit any event. Schedule your personalized tour today by calling Tony's Pizza Event Center or visit Tony'sPizzaEventCenter.com.
Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine is your home field advantage. Our physicians include sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with orthopedic surgeons Drs. Travis Rump and Todd Riley, plus an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists. We're ready when you need us to help prevent injuries, enhance performance, or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. For area athletes to weekend warriors, the home field advantage starts at Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine.
You're listening to Liberty Football on KINA.
28-16, our score as we get ready for third quarter action back here at Tony's Pizza Event Center. Devin Haney, Russ Costa, along with Brian Berner. And it's been a first half so far dominated by the Omaha Beef in a 12-point game. So far, Russ, the Beef have just been pretty efficient on offense. They have not had a drive that's ended without a touchdown. They are 4 of 4 on their drives, and not only that, they've gotten Jeremy Reynolds to tack on the extra point on all 4 of those touchdown drives. And so far, the Liberty having trouble stopping the Beef. The best defense in the league have already given up more points to the Omaha Beef here in this Champions Bowl 7 than what their average was all year long.
Yeah, and Omaha has been the best team to this point in the first 30 minutes of football. Andrew Jackson just precise in the pocket, just one of the best inside the pocket that the CIF has seen. If you don't get pressure on Andrew Jackson, then he is going to tear you apart, and that's exactly what he has done. And this defense for Salina, unable to come up with stops, but then you turn it around and go, yeah, we can talk about Andrew Jackson all day long, but this Omaha Beef defense has been phenomenal. I mean, they've only kept you gave up 42 points last week, and you've only given up 16 and a half of indoor football. So, yeah, the offense is scoring 4 for 4 on every drive with a touchdown, but their defense is keeping them, keeping this lead substantial.
28-16, Omaha right now leading by 12. Brian Berner, we go down on the field to you. Your thoughts on the first half?
Well, all the credit goes in the world to Omaha. They have come out, they've executed on both sides of the ball. Salina has not done as good a job as they have in previous games about controlling the line. Forced some poor decisions. And I think Salina's got to come back. They've got to look. They've got to reevaluate the situation. As Coach said, adjustments made. They're going to have to make adjustments on every side of the football. I think for Omaha, I really don't know what adjustments you make. I don't know if they have really done anything wrong this first half. So it'll be interesting to go. Keep in mind, Salina we've been with them all year long. They've had some second half comebacks where they've been down, had their back against the wall, but have been able to put some points on the board. So keep our fingers crossed they're a second half team. Either way, it's going to be a good 30 minutes of football.
Here's the thing that I want to talk about a little bit here, Russ, is you look at people on the Omaha team that have not produced yet, which is a little bit scary to think about. You look at Rashad Pargo. He hasn't had a catch yet. Montero Du Bois hasn't had a catch yet. Those are guys that are big producers for this Omaha team that so far they have yet to really kind of peek their heads out of this game and make an impact, at least catching or rushing the football. They've been blocking and doing things like that for others, but wow. I mean, this is an Omaha team that is pretty deep so far, and their defense just continues to play well.
Yeah, but when you got guys like Norman Darden and Noble that are making all the plays, why would you go away from that? Great game plan put in by this Omaha team. Yeah, they're going to take away Rashad Pargo, Montero Du Bois, but if you got guys like Noble and Darden that are just doing what they're doing, why would you go away from it? You can flip that around to the Salina side where why would you go away from them giving you the 10, 5, 7-yard out routes where the guy's wide open and you can run for a first down or get 7 or 8 yards every carry. So a lot of adjustments, I think, that need to be made.
This game, at one point, Omaha's biggest lead, with about 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. The Beef had a 21-6 lead. Remember, Salina started out with a 6-0 lead. They scored on the opening drive of the game, but then Omaha went down the field, a two-play touchdown run, a two-play drive and a 2-yard touchdown run by Norman Darden. The extra point was good, and Omaha went up 7-6. They did not give that lead back. Omaha was able to get off the field after Jimmy Allen missed a 25-yard field goal at the end of the first quarter. Then early second quarter, Deshaun Jones got a 3-yard touchdown run. Extra point was good by Jeremy Reynolds. 14-6 was the score. 7:45 left to go. So crucial 4th and 6, and I can't help but to think this kind of lingers in the mind of Liberty's fans. So 4th and 6 at midfield, and Ed Smith dropped a pass that would have converted a first down. That gave the ball back to Omaha, and quickly they went down the field. Andrew Jackson to Alexander Noble, 6-yard pass, and the extra point was good, and that put Omaha up by their biggest lead of the game, 21-6. Salina would come back. Tristan Gould would get into the fray offensively, a 3-yard run. Extra point was good, 21-13. Jackson to Darden on the next drive, about a minute and 55 seconds later. Jackson to Darden, the extra point was good, 28-13. Omaha, and then Jimmy Allen and a 29-yard field goal at the end of the half with 2 seconds left, 28-16. That puts us at our halftime score. So Norman Darden so far, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving, and Andrew Jackson, as Brian said, I don't know how or the way you can put it, he's just kind of doing what he does. He's sliding around the pocket, he's avoiding pressure, and he is getting the ball into the open receiver's hands. And so far, he has been able to get 2 touchdowns on the night in a 28-16 lead for the Omaha Beef, who will also start out scheduled to receive the football here in the second half.
And I think it comes down to special teams. You got to start this half off right. You can't kick the ball over the wall. You can't give Omaha field position at midfield. You got to keep it in play, get it up against the wall to allow this defense some more field to work with. They had them stopped early, but then we had that unsportsmanlike that set them up on their own side of the field. So special teams plays okay when you keep the ball in play, per se, on the kickoff. So, nothing shouted against Omaha. They have played a phenomenal first half. When you go 4 for 4 on drives, convert all 4 extra points, I don't know if there's much else you can change.
Do a little digging at halftime. We were a little confused as to where the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty came from that went against Salina there towards the end of the first half. From what I understand, talking to people on the field, it was because one of the Liberty players took their helmet off. So that's the second time in the first half, and a total of 30 yards of penalties for just removing your hat on the field of play against the Salina Liberty.
that either both of them were after the play was over, and the one on the kickoff return was you were 5 yards from the bench. Just go on the bench and get the crowd fired up. It's mental mistakes. You cannot beat yourself, and there has been no turnovers in this game besides turnover on downs, and that could be key in this second half.
Yeah, you mentioned turnover margin for the season. Omaha at a -1, Salina at a +10. They are on the positive side of that, but so far Omaha has not given them that opportunity. Jimmy Allen will kick it off. He will try to pin Deshaun Jones back at the goal line in the corner. He does, but now here comes Jones. Out to the 5, to the 10. Now he'll get it to the 7, and then he is corralled there by a host of Liberty defenders, 4 of them, led by Travis Taylor and also Tristan Gould. And Omaha will come out here with Andrew Jackson starting out at their own 13-yard line.
And we'll see, you and Brian kind of touched on it. You've got to get pressure on the quarterback. Karan O'Neal said it. We have to get pressure on the quarterback. Hard to get pressure when you're only rushing 2 guys and 1 guy dropping off into coverage. So we'll see the adjustments that can be made to try to contain Andrew Jackson and get him in a hurry.
First down and 10 for the Beef. 3 receivers trying to get lined up on the left-hand side. Now Jackson will send them in motion. A couple of them had to tap the brakes before they got to the line of scrimmage because they would have been offsides. And the run to Deshaun Jones will go to the right-hand side for a couple of yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
And it looks like maybe now the secondary back intact. K-Hop, Dontre Matthews, Dwayne Autry, everybody back out there now in the secondary. Hopefully, we saw Dwayne Autry sit out 1 series and come back in, so hopefully he's healthy. D-Wash on the offensive side. Hopefully with Salina they can come out and try to contain this Omaha offense.
They go with the same formation. 3 receivers on the left-hand side. Deshaun Jones in the backfield. Little delay handoff here to Jones after everything clears out, and Jones will take it in a big collision up to the 20-yard line. He is brought down there by Dontre Matthews. It'll bring up now 3rd down and a longer 2, about 2.5 here for the Omaha offense.
And I think right now, if you're Tron Folsom, you got to sit back in that middle of the field. With as much as they're running the middle, you can't evacuate the middle of the field.
Here's the pitch out left-hand side. It goes to Jones, and he hits a brick wall, and he is driven backwards. 4th down coming up for the Beef. And for the first time, this Salina Liberty defense gets a little bit of a spark here from the crowd as they have placed a 4th down, but they have to get Omaha off the field here because Omaha has been successful even on a questionable non-complete pass that got reviewed, getting them off the field on 4th down. Omaha's been really good tonight converting.
Yeah, and you got to get pressure if you're up front. Kodak Keenan-Gibbs up front has to blow up the center and get into the backfield.
4th down and 2 for the Beef. Loaded up on the left-hand side. They send a guy under the formation. It's Andrew Jackson with the keeper. And Drew's going to have it across the midfield stripe, near the midfield stripe, across 1st down yardage. He needed 2 yards. He got 2.5.
Yeah, and a great read right there by Andrew Jackson. Just pulled it out at the absolute last second. Knew exactly where he had to get the 1st down. So a great job there by Omaha to convert on 4th down.
1st down and 10. Coming up now for Omaha at the midfield stripe. They're at the 24-yard line, 1 yard shy from the middle stripe. Leading 28-16. Opening drive of the second half. 2 receivers in motion on the left-hand side. They're going to go away from that load and give it to Jones, and Jones will spin everybody off and then take it tumbling down to the 20-yard line on a quick gain of 6.
Yeah, and this rushing defense that has stood tall all year long for Salina being put to the test right now by this Omaha offense. So a big stand right here. You have to get a turnover, a stop on downs, as you have been unable to stop Omaha this whole night.
2nd down and 4. Three receivers again on the left-hand side. Pitch out. Jones wants to follow the crowd this time, and he's going to have it across 1st down yardage and make it to the 15-yard line, where he is brought down there. Dwayne Autry's asking for a trainer. Kendrick Harper's slow to get up, but now K-Hop gets up, and he's going to walk it off and come to his cornerback spot on the near side.
Yeah, give it up to these front 3 for Omaha. Really winning this line of scrimmage, not only on this drive, but really have been winning it all night.
Nose of the football sitting at the 15-yard line. Omaha drives it into Salina Liberty territory here. Loaded up now on the right-hand side. Jones takes it on the delay again, and he's going to have his feet chopped out from underneath him by Dontre Matthews. Tackled up top by Tron Folsom, and Jones makes it to the 10-yard line on a gain of 5. Second down and 5 now coming up.
Yeah, and a great block right there on Keenan Gibbs by the offensive line for Omaha, able to chip him just enough to free running back to get a 5-yard gain.
Three receivers again to the left-hand side. They're sticking with the set. They flop the field a couple of times. This time, though, they go to Deshaun Jones, and there to take him down immediately for a short loss is Travis Taylor.
Yeah, and they kind of left him unblocked right there to make him make a decision, and fortunately for this Liberty defense, Travis Taylor made the right decision to get Deshaun Jones down for a loss of 1.
Coach Ron O'Neill for the Salina Liberty summing in this crowd once again to get into it here at Tony's Pizza Event Center. It is the third largest arena behind Rapid City and also Bismarck in the league. Topeka also right there in the mix. Here's the give to Jones. Line of scrimmage, nothing. Fourth down coming up. It'll be fourth and about 5.5.
And Omaha not one time looking to throw the ball right there, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are going to bring Jeremy Reynolds out on the field.
Reynolds and his kicking compadres coming out. Marvin Jones telling them to get back off the field. Marvin's got other things on his mind here. He wants to go for it.
And when you have a sure-footed kicker like Jeremy Reynolds, you know, Ron O'Neill once again asking this crowd and everybody getting on their feet to get into it. A big, big fourth down early in this third quarter.
From the 11, fourth down and 6. Omaha needs to penetrate the 5 to get a first down. And Jones will take a timeout and burn his first one here of the half. With 8:36 left to go. See if the official parlays this into a media timeout. And he will.
Timeout, Omaha.
28-16, a big fourth down for Omaha on the opening drive of the third quarter. When we come back, it's the 60-second timeout here at Tony's Pizza Event Center. Omaha's fourth down after this.
Kids and grandkids, vacation activities, simply traveling on a plane or in a vehicle. These are just a few of the things that pain can affect and keep you from doing, and constant pain is, well, it's a pain. If you or someone you love suffers from back pain or severe joint pain, visit the Salina Pain Clinic. Their physicians can evaluate your pain to determine the best non-narcotic plan to help manage your pain. Speak to your doctor about a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic inside Surgical Arts Center, downtown Salina, or salinapainclinic.org.
Think about the word precision. Precision represents quality and the fact of being exact and accurate. Isn't that what you want when it comes to electrical? Precision Electrical Contractors in Salina brings exact and accurate quality to electrical jobs in Central Kansas since 2003. Precision Electric's focus on quality and performance, combined with their experience and dedication, creates a winning set of finished products which saves their customers money. Don't rely on so-so electrical. Visit the team at Precision Electrical Contractors. Online at pecsalina.com.
The Liberty plays here. Salina's sports station is KINA.
Jackson rolling to the left-hand side. Found a receiver in the middle of the field, and there's a drop for Omaha now. And they will turn it over on downs. You're going to wonder about that. Just as we're wondering about this media timeout that the official called and then backed out of it in the middle of the break. Now he's going to take a media timeout. But we're going to leave it here, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. 28-16, you go for 3 there. Jeremy Reynolds has been really, really good, not only in this game, but also all season long. You can go up by a full 2 possessions, 15 points. And I know it's early to be talking about that, but this drive was awfully reminiscent of the drive that Salina had last week against Billings to start the second half, where they chopped the third quarter in half because of time. If you look at the clock now, we're already halfway through this third quarter. Omaha could have went down. Even if they get 3, they're going up by 15 points. They're getting the field goal back that Jimmy Allen got at the end of the first half for the Salina Liberty. But now Omaha comes up empty, and they give the football back to Salina, though the Bees still lead by 12.
And I think maybe the thinking of Marvin Jones and this Omaha Beef coaching staff is your defense has only given up 16 points. So even if you don't get it there, Salina is deep in their own territory. They're going to have the ball at the 11-yard line. So maybe in their thinking they want, okay, even if we don't convert, our defense has held up great against this offense. That can be the only thing that I can think of why they wouldn't bring on sure-footed Jeremy Reynolds, who probably is one of the best, if not the best kickers in the CIF.
8:31 left to go here in this contest. Again, this is a rematch of Champions Bowl 6. And that one, I want to say a year ago, but really it was 11 months ago, because instead of the end of June, it was the end of July. Last season went a lot longer than this season as far as time, because we had a bunch of bye weeks built in there. So we ended up about 11 months ago, and it was a 40-39 victory for the Omaha Beef here at Tony's Pizza Event Center. I don't think any of us expected this to be any different, but the Liberty have a little bit of work to do to make it happen, and we are halfway through the third quarter. Salina does have the football back. They will start here at their own 11-yard line. Empty backfield, 4 wide receivers as they go 2-by-2. The slot receivers in motion. Here's the cushion again. They throw it out to Tristan Gould, and automatically we see an adjustment that Omaha made at halftime.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. I was getting ready to point that out. Can't tell who that is. Looks like Isaiah Gibson out there, but kind of dropped him off from rushing the pass and put him out in the flat that had been wide open in the whole first half. So maybe something that this Liberty offense is going to have to adjust to on the fly, but a great read right there by Isaiah Gibson.
2nd down and 9. Loaded up on the left-hand side. They're going to pitch it out this time to Tristan Gould. Gould really got his motor going there towards the end of the first half for the Liberty offense, able to break off some big chunks of yardage, and he's going to break off about 4.5 here and make it 3rd down and about 4 for the Liberty as he moves the football out to the 16-yard line. They're going to call it 5 now, 3rd and 5, as they need to have the 21 for a first down.
And Tristan Gould might be the best offense that Salina has had in this game.
3rd down and 5. Gould now in the backfield as they go 3 wide receivers on the right-hand side. Kilgo looking that way, goes into the soft spot. D-Wash is there, and Demarius takes it down to the 16-yard line. Demarius Washington all the way down to the 16-yard line. First down for Salina, move the chains. Now into Omaha territory with 7 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
And a great job by D-Wash right there to just sit in the flat spot, know where the first down sticks are at, know where the open of the field is at, and a great job right there by this Liberty offense to convert on 3rd down.
Discussions now in the Omaha defensive secondary as they're in a little mini huddle. Salina comes back to the line of scrimmage. Gould still remains in the backfield. 2 receivers on the left-hand side. Salina, I don't know what happened there. Maybe snapped it a little too early, but Ed Smith's going to end up with it and actually get 2 yards on the play. That football came hot out of Stephen Fluker's hand at center and hit Javin Kilgo right in the left chest plate and bounced straight up in the air. Ed Smith came out of his slot position on the right-hand side and came over. Actually, he was a solo on that side. Came over and ended up catching the football off the bounce off the turf and was aware enough to save that football for the Liberty. That could have been our first turnover of the night.
Yeah, and you touched on it right there. I think the first turnover's got to be huge right now.
2nd down and 8 for the Liberty. Football setting at the Omaha 13-yard line. 3 wide receivers, left-hand side. Kilgo back to pass. Clean pocket so far. He looks downfield. Now he'll dump it off to Tristan Gould. Broken tackle 1. Broken tackle 2. Working on a gang at the 1-yard line, and he is driven back. It'll be 1st and goal for Salina at the 1. And then the referees rush in to help Tristan Gould get out of the pile. And official even lost his hat there. He got in, got aggressive.
Yeah, but go back, like I just touched on it. Tristan Gould, who was inactive last week, and Coach talked about it. I needed him to have a great week of practice, and he talked about Tristan doing a complete 180 and having an absolute phenomenal week of practice. So runs hard, downhill, has speed.
Here's a give, left-hand side, Liberty touchdown. It comes from 1 yard away, and Zaya Gibson goes after Stephen Fluker. Those two get tangled up after the play as emotions continue to run high between these two teams, and a touchdown, therefore, the Salina Liberty with 4:58 left to play here in the third.
Brian, how big was that drive right there by the Salina Liberty offense to not only get the stop, but drive all the way the whole length of the field, riding Tristan Gould?
It was huge. 2 reasons. 1, getting yourself back in this ball game. But the second thing, being from where I'm at on the Salina bench right now, the atmosphere down here has just changed dramatically. Everybody is now more pumped up. They're going, hey, we've got an opportunity here.
Jimmy Allen on for a chance to make it a 5-point game. Snap by Kelvin McCoy is good. Javin Kilgo's placement is good. Jimmy Allen's kick is good. 28-23 with 4:14 left to go here in this third quarter. Now we have a Champions Bowl, my friends.
Yeah, and you're right back into it right now if you're Salina, and it looks like maybe we're going to get another media timeout right here.
4:14 left to go. You're listening and watching to Champions Bowl 7. It's brought to you by Salina Medical Aesthetics in downtown Salina, right here on KINA.
Show Construction does metal roofs. Show Construction offers residential, commercial, and ag metal roofing. Show offers designer ribbed steel, standing seam, screw-down panels, or stone-coated steel. Show Construction has financing available with low monthly payments. When it's time for a new metal roof, remember Show Construction. We'll travel to you and provide free estimates. Call 833-2007. That's 833-2007. Google us, showroofing.com, or find us on Facebook. Show Construction, the company your neighbors trust.
Now is the time to celebrate summer and look fantastic with Salina Medical Aesthetics. Summer is fun. We all love to take in the sunshine, and we also need to take care of our skin. Right now at Salina Medical Aesthetics, all skincare products are 20% off. For fine lines, dull appearance, and rough, dry texture, brighten your skin tone with a 20-minute express peel and complimentary brightening mask. For year-round skincare, follow SME on social media and visit their website at salinamedaesthetics.org. This is a great time to get your business ready for summer with BizSwag in Abilene. Get your logo in front of potential clients and add a personal touch to koozies, coolers, hats, and t-shirts. Plan for wedding season with save the dates, invitations, koozies, and cups for that special day. Need help or suggestions? Give us a call. There are hundreds of things that we can utilize to market your business or event. At BizSwag, we are passionate about promotions, and promoting your business is our business. BIZSWAG. See us on Facebook. Your quote is free.
You're listening to Salina Liberty Football on KINA Sports.
4:14 left to go here at Tony's Pizza Event Center in Salina. Champions Bowl 7 and Champions Indoor Football is getting fun. 28-23 now the score. Omaha did such a good job in the first 2.5 quarters. Wasn't really much of a game, but now crowd's getting into it. I understand a bus came from Omaha. People in their mom's basements criticizing us on Facebook. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have that everywhere you go, but if you win enough games, then you would get to host the CIF championship.
I guess it was brought to my attention. I don't Facebook because I own my own home, but I guess we were being called one-sided. I don't know, we're just calling it like we see it. We're Liberty announcers. What do you expect? Here's Deshaun Jones back in the end zone, 5 yards deep. He's going to bring it out, and then he gets blown up at the 5. Holy cow. Dontre Matthews just dropped his calling card right in the chest of Deshaun Jones and came out flexing.
Yeah, absolute predator style that he is. Comes down at full speed. What a great special teams play and a great kickoff by Jimmy Allen. That thing hung in the air forever that allowed the coverage team to get back down. Now if you're the Salina defense, you have to zone in and do the same thing.
Big chance here for Andrew Jackson to answer, though. All the momentum seemingly on Salina's side. Here comes Drew back in his own end zone, throwing it across the grain. Holy cow, what a throw there. And Tyler Jones has his second catch of the night, I believe, as he moves it across for 12 yards. We talk about Andrew Jones. He is a bigger fellow, obviously, but I don't think there's anybody in the league that does that play better, sliding to one side and then going back across the grain, doing something you're not supposed to do. But what he is able to do in this 8-on-8 game is pull the defense away from a receiver.
And he can read the defense like nobody I've ever seen.
First down and 10. Jackson now with a full host of receivers. He's going to come to Norman Darden, who will have a 4-yard catch, and then he is going to be taken down, destroyed there by Tron Folsom, but it's still a positive play for the Omaha Beef. 3 minutes left to go, third quarter, 28-23. Omaha with a 5-point lead and the football.
Yeah, and a great tackle there by Tron, but once again, a great play by Andrew Jackson, knowing what the defense is giving you and once again reading it just perfectly.
Second down and 6. Jackson with an empty backfield again, bouncing around in the pocket. Now he has to get out of the pocket. He's going to throw it at the last minute. A big catch against the turf. Incomplete. The back judge official coming in, Norman Darden, made a great effort to come back to that football, but he had in his backpack Dwayne Autry right there on coverage. The two went down to the ground, and the back judge comes in and says that one bounced off the turf.
Yeah, but once again, a great read by Andrew Jackson, knowing that was just a two-man rush. A great job by Salina to get up, but Andrew Jackson able to step up and read that just right, throw it where your guy can get it or nobody else can.
Third down and 6 here for Omaha. The all-white clad beef with their black helmets. Jackson wanted to throw. Now he pulls it back. Now he's scrambling out, looking for somewhere to go in the middle of the field, and it's going to be incomplete. That one went right out of the outstretched left hand of Tyler Jones, and it will be a 4th down decision now for the beef. 1:39 left to go here in the third quarter.
And a great job there by the defenses. It looked like, I can't tell who's coming out on the field. Kind of looks like maybe right arm. Is that E-Ray maybe coming out?
Keenan Gibbs.
Keenan Gibbs coming out. And it looks like
Evan Ray will replace him. No, Gibbs is still out there. Who was that, Brian?
Didn't see who came up.
All right, cool. 3 receivers on the left-hand side. Jackson back to pass, 4th down, trying to convert, lobs it, picked off Liberty. Here come the Liberty back the other way. It is going to be Evan Ray, who's just checked into the ball game for the Salina Liberty. And an interception for the Liberty. It is the first turnover of this contest, and we mentioned it. The glaring fact of these two teams is turnover margin. That is a combination of how many turnovers your defense gets and how many times your offense turns it over. You combine the two, and you always want to be in plus territory. Omaha, -1. Salina, +11 now.
Yeah, +11. You're exactly after that. And you needed one stop. You needed one stop in this game. And if you're going to get it, they were going to turn it over right there. And a great job. E-Ray coming in, flying in off the bench late. And a great job right there by this defense to stand up once again.
Inside a minute left to go, third quarter. Liberty offense on the field. Here's Tristan Gould. Takes the pitch, comes back against the grain, and he will be brought down after he crosses the midfield stripe. And that may be our last play of the third quarter. Tristan Gould gets about 3.5 yards on the play. And Coach Ron O'Neill might take this to the fourth quarter. There is a difference here of about 6 seconds between game clock and play clock. Looks like the Liberty are going to try to run another play. 3 wide receivers on the right-hand side. Pitch out Gould, right-hand side. A big block in there by Anthony Love. Gould breaking tackles. The big stiff arm at the 16. And he goes tumbling down after first down yardage for the Liberty. And the red, white, and blue own the third quarter of action. 28-23. Our score will be back with fourth quarter action after this. It is Champions Bowl 7, and it is brought to you by the Salina Pain Clinic right here on KINA.
Air conditioner breakdowns never happen at a good time. With same-day service, Comfort Heating and Air will get your AC up and running. We always offer free replacement quotes. Right now, we even have 0% financing options. If you're strapped for cash with less than perfect credit, no worries. Just ask about our Easy Pay in-house payment programs. Keeping your family cool and comfortable this summer, call the company that cares. Comfort Heating and Air, with locations in Salina and Clay Center.
You can rely on the company that cares. We're Comfort's Heating and Air.
PRP, or platelet-rich plasma injection therapy, has received quite a bit of attention since its use by many professional athletes. Professional football players like Peyton Manning and Jamal Charles have used PRP therapy for sports injuries and to avoid surgery. But you don't have to be a world-class athlete with millions of dollars for this cutting-edge therapy. PRP is available to you in the Salina Pain Clinic. Call the doctors for a consultation and see if this treatment is right for you. See them at 200 South 5th in the Salina Surgical Arts Center.
You're listening to Liberty Football on KINA.
Back here, fourth quarter, on the board and ready to go. The Salina Liberty, 23, Omaha Beef, 28. Brian Berner, that was a big momentum quarter in this game.
That was very big. Now we'll see. Can Salina keep it going? I know that Marvin Jones had some adjustments for his team here during that break between quarters. So, folks, wrap it on. 15 minutes of what CIF football is all about.
Buckle in, folks. We're going to have a good fourth quarter here. Kilgo, left-hand side, leaves it out to Anthony Love on this first down play. He will get 2 yards and bring up second down and 8. 28-23 our score. And again, a very fast-moving third quarter, Russ, because of that opening drive by the Omaha Beef, who basically took half the time of the quarter off with that opening drive.
Yeah, they took half the quarter, but came up empty-handed, as Salina's the only team to score in that third quarter.
They're going to give A-Love 3 yards on that first down play, second down and 7. Here is the pitch out, Tristan Gould again, and this time Omaha is going to stand up and allow nothing on the play. That'll bring up third down and 7.
Yeah, they're going to give them about a yard and a half, almost 2 yards on that play.
So they do give Gould a yard. Third down and 6 coming up.
But how big was Tristan Gould in that third quarter? Talked about it. He was the only about offense that could give the Salina Liberty team a spark. And then you get E-Ray coming in with the interception, and now they're riding Tristan Gould once again.
He started this kind of at the end of the first half, remember. Got D. Washington rolling from right to left. Now will end up in the slot. Javin Kilgo trying to roll out to the right-hand side. I'm not sure what he did there. He was getting sacked and just kind of threw the ball up over his head. And they're going to say that's an incomplete pass and fourth down coming up.
Yeah,
that's a weird play.
I think he was outside the pocket. He was outside the pocket, so he should have been not called for intentional grounding, which if you go back to last week's game in Omaha and Sioux City, there was that controversial non-intentional grounding called on Andrew Jackson as well.
Officials are conferring about something here. Kevin Kilgo that time was scrambling out to the right. Had his ankles kind of grabbed from behind.
There is the
flag comes down, yeah. Kilgo, really no reason to do that. I mean, there's no reason to let that football go at all. He just chucked it up over his head. And they're going to call intentional grounding.
Number 12 of the offense.
This is going to lose
it's also lost
5 yards for the Liberty. It's not a
down.
huge play. They're going to lose the down anyway because it was intentional grounding and about 5-yard loss. And now they're going to summon Jimmy Allen to come out here with the line of scrimmage now, the new line of scrimmage after the penalty at the 19-yard line.
Looks like Javin Kilgo is going to spot this about the 24-yard line on the Omaha side of the field.
Be a 34-yard attempt here for Jimmy Allen with 13 left to go. Kelvin McCoy will deliver the football. Kilgo on the hold. Perfect snap. The hold is down. Jimmy Allen's kick is up. And no good. It curled right. End over end. It looked like it was a good kick, but just curled off to the right-hand side. And maybe a Liberty offensive lineman down here on the blocker. They're trying to help him up, and it might be Stephen Fluker, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and I think if you don't get that intentional grounding on that play, now we got challenge flag was on the field, but it was just dropped. So Omaha now will take over on their own 5-yard line. So unable, we talked about turnovers would be huge, but unable to come up with points off of that Omaha turnover.
28-23, Omaha will get it back. And again, you can kind of look at this two different ways. If you're Salina, were you trying to score there? Yes, of course. Trying to get that 3 points. But if it misses, you're putting Omaha back at the 5-yard line, where they're going to have to fight their way from there. Omaha's offense has been very good tonight. Let's see what they can do on this drive. 3 receivers on the right-hand side. Jackson steps up, tries to pass, and Tyrell Green, the former soccer player as a young man, went to Murray State. He became a racer, and he has had IFL experience, had experience in Omaha. Also, a couple of calls here from Huron O'Neill in the Salina Liberty camp.
And maybe an adjustment made right there, as it looked like far side defensive end Travis Taylor dropped way out into the flat to kind of take the flat of the way, just like Zaya Gibson did for Omaha.
28-23. Omaha with a second down and 10 after that incomplete pass on first down. Jackson in the end zone. Hit as he throws. I think he still completed the pass, and he did. Omaha has it down the near wall. Norman Darden brings it out across the 20 to the 21, and that's what Andrew Jackson does for you. We talked about him in the first half, how hard he is to bring down, and he was hit in the end zone and still delivered that football for a gain of about 17 yards.
Yeah, and a two-man rush once again was able to get to him, but just a hair late. And once again, a great job by Andrew Jackson to step up and find that open receiver.
First down for the Beef at the 22-yard line. Just underway here, fourth quarter. We'll try a little counter play here to Norman Darden, and no gain on the play. Coming up, Tyrell Green makes a tackle. He had with him
There's
linebacker
no fumble
Tron
on the play.
Folsom.
Ruling on the field is forward progress. Second down.
A great job right there by that Liberty defense to hold him to no gain on first down. I don't want to say your rush defense has been pretty solid here in this second half, but your pass defense, your secondary's got to get on the same page and cover these wide receivers.
Second down and 10. Andrew Jackson walked out to the left-hand side to talk to Tyler Jones about the alignment. 3 wide receivers opposite Jones on the right-hand side. Jackson throws back against the grain. And I don't know if he was going to Jones or Darden there. If it was going to Jones, it would have been intercepted, but Darden comes out of nowhere and makes that catch. He was tackled immediately by Tron Folsom, but what a play by Norman Darden, who right now is probably MVP of this game.
Yeah, he is having an absolute phenomenal game right now. And now this Liberty defense putting another familiar spot at 3rd and short.
3rd down and 2. Those are the football at the 20-yard line. Omaha loading up on the right-hand side. Little play action. Jackson delivers the pass. Incomplete. Kendrick Harper on the coverage that time of Tyler Jones. And with 10 minutes left to play, it'll bring up a 4th down for Omaha, who is leading by 5.
Yeah, and incidental contact right there. Feet got tangled up with K-Hop, but he was all over that play. And once again, 4th down, short yardage situation. If you're a betting guy, I really don't bet, but I would bet on this Liberty defense.
Get out of here. 4th down and 2. 1 receiver on each side. 2 slot receivers on each side. Excuse me, 1 on each side. Here's a ball batted back by Tron Folsom. Tron comes in and he bats that one out of the air. And the Liberty offense will take over. What a big play. We talk about this guy all season long. He is only 6 foot tall, but he plays like he's 6'4", and that play will bring us to immediate timeout. 9:27 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Omaha 28, Salina 23. Liberty have the football when we come back. You're listening to Champions Bowl 7, and it's brought to you by the Salina Pain Clinic.
Kids and grandkids, vacation activities, simply traveling on a plane or in a vehicle. These are just a few of the things that pain can affect and keep you from doing, and constant pain is, well, it's a pain. If you or someone you love suffers from back pain or severe joint pain, visit the Salina Pain Clinic. Their physicians can evaluate your pain to determine the best non-narcotic plan to help manage your pain. Speak to your doctor about a referral to the Salina Pain Clinic inside Surgical Arts Center, downtown Salina, or salinapainclinic.org.
When you hire Street Plumbing, Heating, and Electric in Salina and Lincoln, you'll be making a great decision. Providing full-service plumbing and HVAC, they have the knowledge and skills to get the job done right the first time. They work with you throughout the project to ensure you get the personalized service you deserve from licensed and insured technicians. Excellent customer service in Central Kansas since 1985. The experienced team will clean the premises once the job is done. Street Plumbing, Heating, and Electric. Know them better at streetphe.com.
Don't go another day with roof problems. Ryan Roofing will provide you with the world's best roof, the Durolast roofing system, custom prefabricated to fit your specific building. Your Durolast roof will be leak-free with virtually no maintenance. It's resistant to fire, high winds, chemicals, and temperature extremes. Plus, there are potential energy savings versus traditional roofing. Ryan Roofing has installed over 10 million square feet of Durolast roofing. Trust Ryan Roofing to solve your commercial roofing needs. Call for a quote today, 825-0475.
The Liberty plays here. Salina's sports station is KINA.
We saw on the last field goal attempt for the Salina Liberty when they closed out their previous offensive drive, Stephen Fluker stayed down on the field for a little bit. We just had somebody run off, Brian. I'm not sure who that was. Again, these jersey numbers for the Liberty, very hard to read. Looks like Steven Fluker, though, is still out there on offense. Here's a pass. D-Wash catches it at the 15, breaks the tackle to the 10, still trying to look for more yardage, and he is going to take it to the 6-yard line. All the way down to the 6 goes Demarius Washington, and 8:55 left to go here in the fourth quarter. The Liberty knocking on the door of the red zone.
Yeah, and chalk that one up to the offensive line of Salina. They gave Kilgo immense amount of time to step up. D-Wash was 15 yards down the field before he made his break. Kilgo saw him make his break, come back to the middle of the field, lined it right up, and a great snag and a great run after catch for Washington.
Loaded up on the right-hand side, 3 wide receivers. Kilgo going to the end zone. He puts it upstairs for Demarius Washington and cannot get him the football. D-Wash went up, tried to pull it in with one hand. We've seen him do that so many times this year, and the incomplete pass will bring up 2nd down and goal from the 7-yard line.
And Javin knew right there that he missed that one. He slapped his hands, went over to coach, put his hand on his chest. That's my bad, that's my bad. So we'll see what this Salina offense now can do. As it looks like they're going to split Tristan Gould out left.
Empty backfield this time. 3 wide receivers on the right. Tristan's going to come underneath the quarterback and take the handoff, and he's going to crash his way all the way down inside of the 5-yard line for a gain of 3. Liberty now inside the red zone, but it's 3rd down and about 4.
I think at this point, Tristan Gould has to be involved, whether it's the same as that, a play action sort of deal on a wide receiver like that. But I think Tristan Gould's number has to be called in some way, shape, or form on this play.
Ed Smith, Demarius Washington will flank out to the left-hand side. Gould does stay in the backfield as Anthony Love comes out to the right. 3rd down and goal just inside of the 5. Kilgo looking to pass, back of the end zone. Had it go off of Ed Smith's gloves right in front of Brian Berner. You were in on that play.
I was in on the play. I ducked away, so no surprise that Ed Smith was the target. 4th and goal with 7 minutes, under 7 minutes now. No hesitation from Coach O'Neill. He is going to keep the offense out there.
You need 4 yards here. It is 4th down and goal inside of the red zone.
And we'll see what Coach Jorge Martinez draws up on this 4th down play.
3 wide receivers to the left. Gould stays in the backfield. Kilgo with the snap. Here comes the push up the middle by Omaha. Into the end zone. Demarius Washington snags it out of the sky. And D-Wash has a touchdown, and the Liberty have their first lead since 10 minutes left to go, all the way back in the first quarter.
And a great job right there. Brian, I'm going to send it down to you, but a great job by Washington to seal the defender off like he's going for a rebound, to seal him off to get that catch.
And that's exactly what he did. That basketball pedigree comes into play. He was looking. He actually was trying to seal him off at about the 1 or 2 yard line, knowing that his height could kind of bring him over. He was going against Marion Jenkins, were the two that were doubling up on him. No hesitation this time again for Ron O'Neill. We're going to go for 2.
So a 2-point conversion attempt coming up. Right now, the Liberty lead by 1, trying to make this a 3-point game. Here's the fake to Gould. When he go to the end zone. Back of the end zone. There it is. Omaha had Ed Smith open, and he's been open a lot of the night, but Kilgo just unable to find him. He found him right there, and it makes it a full 3-point lead for the Salina Liberty. 31-28 after the 2-point conversion. 5:35 left to go here in Champions Bowl 7.
And Brian, that was right in front of you, and that was an excellent route ran by Ed Smith to get on the back of the defenders and this offensive line to allow Kilgo to find Ed Smith.
Kilgo did a great job. I don't think Ed was the primary target that time. You could tell he was checking things off as he went across. Ed ran a great route. The execution was perfect. He was wide open to get that reception.
It is pretty rowdy right now inside Tony's Pizza Event Center.
There's a fire over in the party pit. The gals from the halftime show are over there waving their fire banners, running up and down the party pit. Just a great time here at the T-Pex. Now, the game, there's still 5:35 left to go. Oh. We saw this game come down to a field goal last year that was blocked. So a lot of football left to be played, and this defense has stood up and given up no points so far in this second half. And if there's a defense in this league that you want to protect the lead, it's the Salina Liberty defense.
We may see 4 more scores by the time this thing is over. There is no doubt about that. You have the 2 best teams in the league doing battle here in a 3-point game as Salina has taken the lead for the first time since way back when they scored 6-0 with 9:57 left to go in the first quarter. Now it's Omaha's turn to answer. Jimmy Allen will put the ball in the air, high end over end kick. Deshaun Jones will take it at the 2. He's already at the 10, 15, breaks a tackle, and he's going to be driven back to the 11-yard line by Tron Folsom, and a helmet comes off in the middle of the field, and a flag down as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Jimmy Allen was kind of trotting down the field and took an absolute shot, so I'm not sure if that's going to have anything to do with this. I don't know. I saw the late flag come in, but we kind of saw things calm down there for a little bit, and I don't know, maybe a hands to the face or something that's going to come out of this, but...
Well, you saw Detroit Matthews lost his helmet, and I'm wondering if that might have been, you mentioned hands to the face, could that have been the reason that helmet popped off?
Well,
and they're taking it back. The officials are pointing back like Omaha's going to have to march back. Omaha's already going back on the back of the field. Dwayne Autry over here trying to get the crowd fired up. It looks like he's going to check out after this play. That left arm hasn't been right since he took that shot in the first half.
So that is where we've seen guys like Evan Ray
unnecessary roughness
step up and be even more crucial in this game. And an unnecessary roughness call against Omaha will have them start back now at their own 9-yard line. So you still have Tyrell Green, you still have E-Ray, you still have Kendrick Harper, you still have Dontre Matthews in the defensive secondary, along with Tron Folsom.
So what you're saying is the best defense is still out on the field?
I told Coach Ron O'Neill this starting the season, that secondary is a secondary of all-stars. 31-28, Liberty, Omaha's chance to answer here and silence this crowd. Jackson back to pass. Had that's Travis Taylor at his ankles, and an interception. Salina with an interception at the goal line, all the way back the other way. 25, 20, and wrecked down there at the 17-yard line. It's an interception up against the wall, crashing into the wall that time was Evan Ray. E-Ray with back-to-back interceptions. Andrew Jackson wanted it all, and it appeared that Evan Ray was beat. And at the last moment, he closed the gap and got the interception right at the goal line.
And Evan Ray was beat. He came from the middle of the field so extremely fast to run that ball down. And it looks like now maybe Omaha is going to want to challenge the play, as it looks like now we're going to get a word from the White Hat. I'll see, Devin, I'll turn it over to you while I try to listen to this.
The previous play, there was an interception. The referee, I can review it.
We're all trying to hear what he's saying.
They're going to review this play to make sure Evan Ray caught the ball, and the wall did not help him catch the ball. Once again, we've seen replays take forever in this building, and usually the play stands as called more than not. So I'm going to catch my breath and leave it up to you and Brian.
Let's take a 60, 4:54 left to go here in the fourth quarter. An official review of Evan Ray's interception at the goal line. We will have the results for you when we come back. You're listening to Champions Bowl 7 and watching on the Champions Indoor Football Network, and it's brought to you by Salina Medical Aesthetics.
Now is the time to celebrate summer and look fantastic with Salina Medical Aesthetics. Summer is fun. We all love to take in the sunshine, and we also need to take care of our skin. Right now at Salina Medical Aesthetics, all skincare products are 20% off. For fine lines, dull appearance, and rough, dry texture, brighten your skin tone with a 20-minute express peel and complimentary brightening mask. For year-round skincare, follow SME on social media and visit their website at salinamedaesthetics.org.
When pests have become too much, it's time to call Hassman Termite and Pest Control. With staff having over 150 years of combined experience, we offer all services for structural pests: termites, ants, roaches, spiders, crickets, mice, and bed bugs. In our 60th year of our family serving yours, give us a call or visit us on the web at hassmantermite.com or see us on Facebook.
You're listening to Salina Liberty Football on KINA Sports.
The officiating crew is still in the cave looking at replay of what may or may not be a couple of different things now. The first thing that you need to look at is the interception by Evan Ray, and you also need to look at, was he touched by the receiver at the goal line? Was the return an actual return all the way back to the Omaha 19-yard line, or is this ball going to come back after the interception is confirmed or not confirmed back to the Liberty-owned 5-yard line? So there's a lot of things going on here in this very, very crucial replay. Remember, we had a replay in the first half that was crucial too. Omaha appeared to have a football, incomplete or not complete, whatever you want to do. It was ruled complete by the officials on the field. It said the play stands. They were not able to confirm it, but it stands. Omaha went on to score a touchdown on that drive. This equally is big now with 4:54 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Liberty lead by 3 and looking to get the football back here in Omaha territory after another sensational defensive play by Evan Ray.
And if this stands, Devin, sorry to interrupt you, but if this stands, that is plus 12 now for Salina going into this game and -1 for Omaha. I talked about it. Coming into the second half, you had to get turnovers.
Keep in mind, too, Evan Ray, Brian, is a guy that was questionable. He was a game-time decision here tonight. He did not play last week against the Billings Outlaws. He was questionable tonight coming in even.
He was. Really stepped out on the field when some guys get banged up. You know what? Right guy, right time. Here comes the white hat. Let's see if we can get the call.
Okay.
The ball was caught before it hit the wall. The gentleman who intercepted it was not forcing the wall. Therefore, the interception on the field stands.
So the interception stands, and the Salina Liberty will have the football as Evan Ray gets his second pick on as many drives for the Omaha Beef.
And how big of a has Evan Ray been in this second half? We didn't see him out on the field a lot, and then he came in when we saw injuries, and he came in late on the play where he made the interception before. He comes on this as Dwayne Autry checks out, is beat, full speed interception, Salina ball.
Liberty have the football, little play action here, and they're going to throw a flag. A wide open Demarius Washington in the end zone, but they're going to say procedure penalty.
Number 3, offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And they will have a 1st and 15 now with 4:36 left to go here in this fourth quarter.
Yeah,
31-28, Liberty lead by 3.
And that was a clear offside over there on the far side of the field. We've talked to officials throughout the years of doing this that there's that kind of buffer 1-yard gap, but that was clearly well offside by the Salina wide receiver. So set back a little bit now, 1st and 15 at the 24-yard line of Omaha.
Liberty trying to get aligned here. They have 2 seconds left on the play clock. Kilgo is going to send 2 receivers in motion, right-hand side. Total of 3. Flanks it out that side to Anthony Love. Love trying to get more yardage as he has that ball cradled in his left hand. He almost had the appearance like he was going to hurdle again, but we saw how that resulted for him in the first quarter, and that's probably not a good idea. This Omaha secondary put him in the VIP early on in this game in the first quarter.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for people in the VIP, he would have went down on the concrete, but a great job right there to not only make the catch, but hold on to the football knowing there's contact for about a 9.5 yard gain right there.
Clock continues to roll. 10 seconds left here on the play clock. Ron O'Neill up in the middle of his offense talking to Demarius Washington. Play clock down to 4. Here's the snap. Go back to Tristan Gould. Straight up the gut, working off the right-hand side where Aleki Tapa is leading the way on blocks. And that will bring up now a 3rd down and about 4 after a 2-yard gain.
And that was the second errant snap, I think. I know they're trying to go quick, and you want to go with 2 seconds left on the clock, but Kilgo once again was not ready for that snap. So very fortunate there for Salina to able to get positive yards on that to bring up a 3rd and manageable.
3rd down and 4. Salina needs to get inside of the 10-yard line and to the 8. to safely get a first down. They load up left-hand side, 3 wide receivers. Play action, Kilgo, little head and shoulder fake. He's going to go to the end zone right on the goal line where Demarius Washington was doing battle that time with Omaha's defensive back, Trey Dudley Giles, a former Liberty player. We know how good Trey is. He is not going to give up much. He has a tall task, literally and figuratively, taking on D. Washington, but Trey Dudley Giles does a good job that time. That ball goes incomplete. Now a huge fourth down play in this game as the Liberty facing 4th down and 4. Clock still continues to run. 2:13 left to go. Liberty leading by 3.
A long time to get the play in there as they break the huddle with about 9 seconds left. But Trey Dudley Giles with a great play right there on D-Wash.
2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. They want to pass again. Kilgo over the middle into the end zone. D-Wash, and he's going to score. Demarius Washington is a man amongst men. At his size, has been able to promote a lot of plays just like that, as he caught the football right at the goal line and just backed his way in against smaller guys and scores another Liberty touchdown.
And Brian, what makes this even better is without this extra point, that turns this into a 2-score game.
2-possession game, and also keep in mind, Marvin Jones used a timeout early in the 3rd quarter. So he's going to be 1 down as he tries to go the length of the field.
Here's the extra point. Jimmy Allen's kick is up, and it is good. 38-28 is our score. And the Salina Liberty lead up by 10 with 1:57 left to go as Jimmy Allen punches it through.
Now here's where you're going to have to get your special teams all on the same page. Jimmy's been very good this second half with his kickoffs. Look for that placement, get down good coverage, make it a tough task for Omaha to get downfield.
Yeah, and that was 4th down right there. You either come away with a no points or a 10-point lead, and that's exactly what this Liberty offense just did. And Kilgo hasn't been rolling out of the pocket a lot as we've seen him. He's been able to stand in the pocket and take pressure in the second half and just deliver.
Well, we haven't talked about how good this Liberty offensive line has been in the second half. We're talking about Kelvin McCoy on the left, Stephen Fluker in the middle, Aleki Tapia on the right. Those guys have given Kilgo a chance to kind of sit there and read and bounce and find these guys that he was missing in the first half because he was under that much pressure from this really good Omaha defense. But this Salina Liberty team has just totally flipped this game around, and we've seen this happen a couple of times this year. Keep in mind, it was 21-6 at one point. Since that time, the Liberty have gone on a 32-7 run since the middle of the second quarter. Here's Deshaun Jones trying to return it. He will get not even to the 10-yard line, arrested at the 8, and then drop down there. They're probably going to give him the 9 on forward progress. So now time becomes an issue, and as Brian said, Marvin Jones used the timeout early in this second half. So they have 2 timeouts remaining. They will also have a pause in the action at the 60-second warning, and 10 points to make up here with 1:48 left to go in the game.
And if you're Salina, you need one more stand. You need one more stop by who have arguably, we have said, is the best defensive in the league. And yeah, they looked bad. There was no doubt about it. In the first half, this defense was bad. Andrew Jackson and this Omaha offense tore them apart.
Omaha scored in 2 plays on their first drive of the game.
Yeah, they just destroyed this Liberty defense in the first half. But it's changed.
Empty backfield, 4 wide receivers. Andrew Jackson wants to throw it over the middle. He will find Tyler Jones. That'll be a gain of 10 yards and a first down for Omaha, who knows the urgency of this game. They're trying to get another playoff here before the 60-second warning. They have 10 seconds to do so. They are lined up. Split 2 by 2. Slot receivers on each side in motion. They'll snap the ball with 1:03 left to go. Jackson looking downfield. Keenan Gibbs is going to hit him, and Jackson, with all of his strength and all of his girth, will throw it away out into the empty field where I didn't see a receiver other than maybe Norman Darden out here by the wall. Huron O'Neill is begging for a grounding call.
Yeah, I don't think Darden was even in that area. They've got to drop that flag, I think, once they talk amongst each other.
They're still talking about it. Either way, after this decision, we are going to have our 60-second break here with a 60-second warning. And it doesn't look like
there's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was in the grass, had his progress stopped. It'll be second down. This will also be 1 minute timing.
Basically as a quarterback sack because Jackson was on his way down and the pass does not count. They're going to count it as a quarterback sack and a loss of 6. And we are at the 60-second warning. Let's take a quick timeout. 60 seconds. Now let's take a 30 here, Sam. Let's just do a 30. Back with the conclusion of this one. Champions Bowl 7. Back after this on KINA.
PRP, or platelet-rich plasma injection therapy, has received quite a bit of attention since its use by many professional athletes. Professional football players like Peyton Manning and Jamal Charles have used PRP therapy for sports injuries and to avoid surgery. But you don't have to be a world-class athlete with millions of dollars for this cutting-edge therapy. PRP is available to you in the Salina Pain Clinic. Call the doctors for a consultation and see if this treatment is right for you. See them at 200 South 5th in the Salina Surgical Arts Center.
You're listening to Liberty Football on KINA.
Back here at Tony's Pizza Event Center. 1 minute left to go. 38-28 is our score. Omaha has the football. Second down and 16 here on this drive with 1 minute left to go in the game.
And a minute is a lot of time in the indoor game because the clock will stop on first down. The clock will stop when you go over the wall. So there's a lot of time. Yeah, Omaha only has 2 timeouts and it's deep in their own territory, but we've seen them score so quick in the first half against the Salina defense.
Well, you look at how we ended Champions Bowl 6 last year. There was a ton of scores in that game in the last minute. Jackson over the middle. Here's Montero Du Bois, his first catch of the night. And he is going to take it across the midfield stripe all the way down to the 15-yard line. Case in point right there.
Yeah.
That's exactly what can happen in indoor football, especially with this Omaha offense. 20 yards, just like that.
And if you're this Liberty defense, you can't get soft. You have to continue to play the game as the clock is going to now wind.
First down and 10, 3 wide receivers, left-hand side. Here is Darden wide open out in the flat left-hand side, and he is going to knife his way down, carry a couple of defenders. Tyrell Green there to make the tackle at the 6-yard line. Clock continuing to run, 37 seconds left. Not quite a first down. It's second down and 1 after a 9-yard gain. 3 receivers right-hand side. They're going to go in the middle of the field, and a big hit by Dontre Matthews. Montero Du Bois, maybe the catch of the game, holding on to that football as he gets it down inside the 5. I don't know how Du Bois held on to that ball, but somehow he did, and Dontre Matthews will take him down at the 2.
Yeah, great catch right there, and it looks like maybe Coach Marvin Jones is
going
to use one of his timeouts
Omaha,
right
the
here.
second charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
His feet got taken out from under him about right as soon as the ball got there and was able to hang on to it. So all credit goes right there to Omaha to be able to complete and convert. But now only 1 timeout left with 27 seconds, down 10.
Montero Du Bois gets up. He is limping right now. But we talked about him not really making an impact in this game as far as receptions and things like that. Now all of a sudden his head pops out. Rashad Pargo still has yet to catch a football in this game. That is another one. Remember when he played with Andrew Jackson when they were with the Salina Liberty in 2019? 2019, Rashad Pargo was the best receiver in the league.
Yes.
He was an MVP candidate. No catches so far tonight. Here's Jackson, back to pass. Wants to go to the slant. He does, and it's a touchdown with 24 seconds left to play. And there is Tyler Jones. They have connected on that play twice now tonight. And another 6 points for the Omaha Beef, who now make it a 38-34 score with the point after pending.
Yeah, Jeremy Reynolds on now for the extra point. And this is a pretty important extra point here because this will make it a field goal score. If he somehow misses this, it gets blocked by this Liberty team. Omaha will have to get the ball back and score a touchdown. Mind you, Omaha with 1 timeout. Salina gets the ball back. They're going to have to move the ball for positive yards.
Jeremy Reynolds is perfect tonight. He's 4 of 4 on extra points. He has not attempted a field goal. Placement is down by Deshaun Jones. He picks it up. Now he wants to run, and he's going to be tackled. Boy, how much did that look like the first play of the game against Omaha when a touchdown was allowed, and it shouldn't have been. When Deshaun Jones picked up the football, when Shaq Bradford came around the corner, ended up scoring, that touchdown should not have been allowed in a 14-11 game. That looked awfully like that play in Omaha, but this time the Liberty defense there to make a stop.
Yeah, and now you're going to have Omaha coming out for an onside kick, and the officials are getting together now. I wonder if they're going to talk about this, as in there will be a penalty for that by picking it up and going. Maybe not, as they're now just going to disperse. But that, Brian, that's the exact same play we saw.
Here's the thing. The team on an extra point will immediately say where do they want the ball positioned. If they choose to move the ball after that initial decision, that's when they are not allowed to pick the ball up and in turn do a fake attempt. So if the ball was not moved, they do have the ability to pick it up and go. That's the ruling that came from the league itself. So consider that to be pretty solid information.
Appreciate the clarification. I just said was the way that appeared was, made me go back to Ralston Arena, Liberty First Credit Union Arena in Omaha, when that was the opening drive of the game, and we didn't really think it was going to be that big of a deal at that time, but then the game ended up being 14-11. 38-34, maybe the biggest play of the game, as Jeremy Reynolds, one of the best to do it in this league, is ready to kick it away. He's going to try an onside kick. He's going to take a bounce and not make it 10 yards, and a flag is going to fly. Liberty, though, will cover it up. And now we'll get the ruling on the field, Brian.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to probably have offsides on the kicking team. So I think Salina will have the ability to decline that penalty.
The ball was recovered by Salina. Offsides, kicking team number 1. That penalty happens into the goal. It'll be first down.
In a close game, you have to get positive yardage or else the clock stops. Omaha has one timeout remaining. Their hope right now is to get the Liberty stopped without a gain.
Yeah, at that point you are, and you're at the 4-yard line, so I don't recall one time we've seen Kilgo go under center, so I don't think you're going to see a quarterback sneak. You may see a heavy dose of Tristan Gould. Knowing anything that could happen here, you may see a play action and go take a shot at the end zone. I don't know at this point.
Tristan Gould into the game as an up back. D. Washington behind him as a wide receiver. Javin Kilgo is going to take it off the left-hand side and gain a couple of yards. And now Omaha is going to have to burn their only remaining timeout with 19 seconds left to go.
Timeout.
So interesting
Omaha,
formation that we have not seen
third and
before.
final timeout of the half.
And you need one more play. Omaha's out of timeouts. You need a half a yard right here if you're Salina, and this game is over and Champions Bowl 7 stays right here.
A lot of talk coming into this game. Coach Ron O'Neal, of course, a legend. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer in the IFL. He came to Salina and rescued a Liberty team that was just really in the dumps. I mean, when you think about it, 3 wins in their first 2 seasons. He comes in their 3rd season, and in his first year, Ron O'Neal goes 10-4 and gets the Liberty into the playoffs. He has only had 2 seasons in his history where he has not made the playoffs, and now the game is over, and the final 4 seconds will go off, and the Salina Liberty have their defining moment of franchise history. They will have Champions Bowl 7 trophy in their trophy case, and they have done it. They have bucked the trend of what some people compared them to the Buffalo Bills. They are not going to lose 4 championship games in a row. They get it done without their MVP, Tracy Brooks. He was shelved tonight due to injury. And the Salina Liberty have a championship in Champions Bowl 7. 3 straight title games, and the first one successful in the cup here for the Salina Liberty offense, as hugs from Jorge Martinez and Dylan Mendocino go all the way around, and a championship for Salina. Final score, 38-34. When we come back, post-game and comments from Ron O'Neal. It's coming up after this.
Don't go another day with roof problems. Ryan Roofing will provide you with the world's best roof, the Durolast roofing system, custom prefabricated to fit your specific building. Your Durolast roof will be leak-free with virtually no maintenance. It's resistant to fire, high winds, chemicals, and temperature extremes. Plus, there are potential energy savings versus traditional roofing. Ryan Roofing has installed over 10 million square feet of Durolast roofing. Trust Ryan Roofing to solve your commercial roofing needs. Call for a quote today, 825-0475.
Time now for the Liberty postgame show on KINA. Stick around for the game recap, final stats, and reaction from the coach. This is Liberty football on KINA.
Back here at Tony's Pizza Event Center, the 2022 season for the Salina Liberty is a successful one. A lot of clouds hanging over this franchise, but those clouds are now nothing but sunshine, unicorns, and rainbows. Brian, we have Coach O on the field. Take it away.
Coach, we're going to make this quick because there's so many people here that I know are going to come up to congratulate you. But congratulations. You made some adjustments that second half. You guys were a different team in the second half that came out. What was the difference in getting this victory?
Well, our secondary stepped it up in the second half. They got the stops when we needed it. Our D-line did what they needed to do. They were doing that all night long. We just got to, make some adjustments offensively. Once we did that, changed up a couple things, and basically just listened to my eyes upstairs. Dylan, Coach Martinez, listening to Carlos on the side, and just understanding what they were trying to do with us and how we could defeat them.
All season long, even at the start of the season, you kept telling us this is a team. We've got the team put together, the blueprint. Then you went through some adversity, lost a quarterback, wasn't sure what quarterback you were going to find, got the man in. This team just had confidence from the get-go.
Absolutely, and once we figured out our offense, we made our adjustments there. Our offensive line stood up, and they played big tonight. But Javin, he's never got a chance to be a starting quarterback. And he got his chance, and he did the most with it. And I'm so proud of him because it was an up-and-down game. And I do want to thank Zach Hibden for keep believing in him. He's the one that told me, hey, give him a chance, and he'll... Thank you. He said, give him a chance. And I gave him the chance, and he made the most of the opportunity. So I'm just so proud of him.
You had a defensive back, came off the bench, comes away with 2 big interceptions.
Well, he was a game-time decision, and he did do well this week. I know he was mad at me last week when I didn't go with him, but I just had a feeling that the guys we had in for that game last week could give him that extra week to rest, and boy, did it show. He came and did what he needed to do and played big for us.
This ownership group, when they first took over, they wanted to bring one guy in, and that was you. You finally did what you were wanted to be doing all along. It's nice to get this thing.
Yes, and Salina deserves it. This ownership group deserves it, and I'm so proud of all these fans that came out, the biggest crowd we've ever had. So I'm so thankful that they didn't stop believing in us. We were down 12 points, and we still didn't give up. We kept coming. We didn't give up. We went all the way through, and we brought it home for Salina.
Coach, congratulations. Go enjoy it.
Thank you again for having me.
Devin, back up to you.
Thank you very much. Obviously, a very jubilant, a very happy Coach Ron O'Neill, and I don't know that we can say this enough. He is a GOAT in indoor football. That term gets thrown around a lot, but he just got elected into, about a year ago, the Indoor Football Hall of Fame. Some people look at that as a higher level of Champions Indoor Football. He has no problems coming in here coaching to get a championship. He looked at the Salina Liberty as a challenge. You're looking at a franchise that had 3 wins in their first 2 seasons. They resurrected a train wreck in what was literally, pardon the analogy, a crash and burn situation for the Salina Bombers. This ownership group for the Liberty, I don't think they get enough credit because they said this town needs this team, and they wanted to come in and make things right and make things better for the sponsors, for some of the players, for some of the on-field personnel, for people at Tony's Pizza Event Center that were wronged by the Salina Bombers. It was rough. First year you win 2 games. Second year you win a game. And then I remember having a conversation with Dan Mendocino, the owner of this team, one of the owners in the ownership group, who, by the way, his father just passed. They dedicated the season to him. Dan came to me, and he looked at me with a glimmer in his eye like he just had another child, and he said, Devin, we have our guy. I said, cool, who is it? He goes, he's coming. I said, all right, who is it? He goes, just wait. I said, all right, who is it? He goes, we'll be in touch. And he never told me who it was. Then when I found out it was Huron O'Neill, I did the little research. I've heard of him. And I thought, okay, Dodge City, he was a defensive coordinator. What do we do now? What are we doing with this guy that was a defensive coordinator out in Dodge City? Turns out he needed to be a head coach again. Salina Liberty gave him that chance, and he turned this franchise around and now has a championship with him after 3 straight title games.
Yeah, and you touched on it. Huron O'Neill is a special human being. Not only is he one of the best coaches to ever coach in the indoor game. I mean, you're not a first ballot Hall of Famer by accident. So I think having him come to Salina was huge. And you touched on it. The ownership group here has stuck through some hard time. Them first 2 years, for lack of better words, they were terrible. And it just, it was a struggle around here. It was a struggle. There's no way around it. But your struggles and heartbreaks lead to great things. And that's exactly what Huron O'Neill has brought to not only to this team, this ownership group, the town of Salina, but Huron O'Neill is just an all-around one of the greatest people in and out of this game that I have ever met in my life. And it has been a pleasure to travel with what is now your Champions Bowl 7 CIF champions.
And this is validation, right, Brian? I mean, when you look at this team, it was almost, I don't want to say there's not jubilation, there's not celebration, but it almost seems to be an overbearing feeling of a relief. Because this was one of those games that you came into, and I've heard it, I said it, you said it, we heard other people say it. If you're a Salina Liberty supporter, if you're a Salina Liberty player, if you're a Salina Liberty anything, you came into today knowing you had to win this game to validate yourselves.
It's not just this season. It's a lot of seasons built up. And the emotion that these guys are showing on the field right now, I've never seen this many big guys cry before. I mean, they know the hard work. They know the adversity. They know they went through suspensions. They tried to find a quarterback. They found a quarterback. And let's say this, what Javin Kilgo was able to do, Tyree Adams set that stage early in this season because he was able to get this offense the confidence that they had. They knew they just had to get that replacement in there. He did a great job, and it was really that next man up mentality because some guys would get banged up. Guys would come off, hey, we need a breather. They had rotation going that this entire roster contributed not only tonight, but all season long. It was interesting to see Coach O'Neill, to be able to not only hear him, but see the emotion that he put out when I had the opportunity to visit with him. I think this shows Salina is a great place to play. Hopefully we can get one of the owners here to visit with them because that's where this groundwork has been set.
Yeah, absolutely, and I don't think we can say that enough. This game was awfully entertaining when you look at what this game did. I mean, Salina went down the field. They scored on the first drive of the game. They went up 6-0, missed the extra point. It was blocked. And then after that, it was just kind of like open season. It was a lot of things that happened in this game, and Omaha just really took control of the first half, and they went up by a big, big score. And you look at this, at one point, Omaha was up in this game 21-6. But in the second half, and really kind of, Russ, I think that this started late in the first half. When we talk about the emergence of Tristan Gould on offense, Salina was able to get a touchdown, and they kind of closed the gap a little bit. Then they were able to get a field goal from Jimmy Allen. And then coming out in the second half, a questionable decision from Omaha and Marvin Jones, because he went for a field goal, instead of going for a field goal, he went for a touchdown, and the Liberty got a turnover on downs. Let's go down. Brian has Dan.
Dan, on behalf of the ownership group, your thoughts on this? This is you guys went out and got your man a few years ago. Come close. I mean, Devin and I were talking about it. Albuquerque, still in the back of our mind. Blocked field goal 2 years ago, still in the back, or last year, still in the back of our mind. And now tonight at halftime, we're going, what can go on? Our thought was Hakuna Matata, no worries, we're going to be back. This is a comeback team. Here we go.
Well, first of all, Coach Ron O'Neill, you're right. He was